Well, good evening. We are here on a beloved Monday night
Do you hear the
raw.
music playing in the background?
I got sound everywhere right now.
Let me make sure it's not me. Yeah, it's you. There you
Once again, good afternoon on this
go.
Monday night raw as we continue to figure it out. As y'all see the new show and what it looks like. There it goes. Um, I'm stressed, but I'm all right. We're gonna figure this out together. It's a journey we'll take. How you doing, brother?
As I said before, it's interesting seeing you go through the struggles that I went through, the exact same struggles now on the other end. So I'm just kind of sitting here laughing, like when you couldn't figure out how to turn down the music. It's like
Well, I'm trying to check the music and the feed over here on the YouTube page
I
all
mean, I
at the
get it.
same time,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then there's the double echo. But
You got a
I
double
like
echo.
this. Well, I mean, yeah, I got the
You're
YouTube
also
feed
not
playing
talking
over
into.
here.
Are you talking into your microphone?
I am, and it is probably hating, just like everything else, and it is. Boy.
There you go.
All right. I didn't know that was going to hate too, but that's life.
You can hear me through the microphone, right?
Yes. The funny part about this is there is not a better place to start than with struggle. As much as my struggles lasted for 90 seconds, X has apparently been under a massive cyber strike. And by X, for all regular humans, we call that Twitter because that's the only name we know for it. With that being said, it has not worked for the majority of the day. And for y'all who are football fanatics like myself and like Reggie, this is basically the day that's kicked off free agency in a big way. So for Twitter to be down when we need it the most, surely something.
Yeah, shout out to I ain't gonna say shout out because I don't want to be branded a certain way, but it's
You care about that
interesting that
now?
it's great that whoever did this decided to do this on one of the most popular American sports days of the off season. We're in basketball. It's important in basketball, but a lot of stuff is already kind of determined. You're just trying to figure out where the rest of the field falls. We don't care about baseball at this point. Shout out to the evil empire.
Oh, y'all got all types of problems. Y'all got Tommy John problems.
Yeah, Tommy and John
Elbows,
visited y'all. But
knees and toes.
For whoever did this to target NFL free agency first day is hilariously smart. And they lost so much advertising money. And I feel like, hey man, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's funny to me.
Oh, it's hilarious to me, especially when you look at this. I don't want to spend a lot of time here, but he's trying to blame somebody for his mistake. And for me, it's hey, you got other responsibilities. You got your nose and everybody else's business, and your business ain't business.
And you can't be worried about everybody else's house and your house ain't clean, brother.
Yep.
That is a black proverb. That is something that we live by. And look, shout out to government efficiency. Y'all haven't been efficient at all. And it's starting to bleed over in everything else. But it is what it is. We ain't gonna spend too much time on X, formerly known as Twitter. F them. It is what it is.
You know where you can go.
It does suck that you can't, that it is the most real time. If you can filter out your algorithm, it's the most real time news outlet you can have. But I mean, look, y'all know where I stand on everything. You know who I'm with. Power to the people.
And to the people.
Struggle and strife to everybody else.
And to the people goes the power. Speaking of power and unbelievable things, we're going to get right here to Braden Williams.
With the start we expected, and Dylan Mitchell as well. And it looks like Braden Williams is going to get that.
Okay. Sorry, I had to mute that. That was super loud in my here. My bad. Basically, Braden Williams from Duncanville High School in Texas ran a 9.99 100 meter. I'm gonna say that again. A 9.99 100 meter in high school is unheard of.
And if you thought that he was running faster than the camera, he was. He is the fourth sub 1000 ever. Excuse me, fourth sub 10 runner in high school history. Four humans ever have done this. So
in the history of high school.
And
probably could have ran about a 9.95. I'm about to say,
if he wasn't looking, he could have. But I mean, I'm gonna look too. I know, and nobody. Where you at, y'all? It's a breeze back here behind me. Yeah, this is unbelievable. Completely unbelievable. Faster than I even ever conceived being. I don't know what to say other than congratulations, young man. You have a long track future in front of you. And if you get out of track and want to play for the Falcons, bro, you fast enough. We'd be more than happy to have you.
Look, Georgia, Florida been doing it for years. They've been.
Man,
if you remember, they running back that they had. Oh God, I can't think of his name right now. He ran Will Demps. Will Demps had ungodly track speed. It was like this.
One. There was one during my brother's time too who was smoking fast.
Yeah, but Will Demps ended up going to the Olympics. So
that too.
So, and Will Demps, this is what you call taking the angle away. Like if this dude runs a 9.99, if you just give him the ball and tell him run straight, you're not gonna catch him. But we'll see you in the Olympics. We know you're gonna be there. We're gonna see you there real soon, representing Texas.
Speaking of people who we are interested in possibly being Atlanta Falcons, this is Gable Stevenson here.
Number 2.
And that is a 285-pound man that he just ejected from the ring. We will show you one more time. Look at him, pick him up, scoop. Hey, get out of here. He made him like a bouncer at a club he did not belong. He got him out of the paint like Draymond. Excuse me, this belongs to me, sir. And I'm going to watch it one more time because it brings me joy to scoop a 285-pound man and your legs is kicking like a child. What do you think?
I mean, what you going to do, bro? This is why they tell you in high school, they tell all linemen and linebackers they tell all linemen to wrestle and they tell all skill positions to run track. This is why. One of the best linemen that I played against in high school, his name was Kendrick Golston. He was an all-state wrestler. He actually went up against one of our guys that worked with sumo wrestling. And let me tell you, that was a heavyweight bout. But when it comes to this guy picking him up and throwing him out the ring, what can you, if you were the other guy, if you were the guy from Ohio State and you get thrown out the ring, what can you do?
Hit him with your track baton?
Now, it must have been a knockdown, drag out fight because he said hit him with the track baton because dude's bleeding on the back of his neck. So, I mean,
who you going to tell that to? Who you think care about that? That's a you problem, sir.
He just threw you outside the ring he threw you outside the ring with butterfly tattoos on his arm. Like, bro,
I bet you won't say that to his face. I bet you won't say nothing about them beautiful butterfly tattoos.
Well, in the South, I will. I had no problem saying that anybody facing the South. Now, we in New York, or we in a state that don't believe in protection, then I'll think about it. Okay. I'll think about it. But I ain't got no problem. You come to Atlanta, I say whatever we want to. You, Mr. Established, upstanding gentleman, is not who I'm worried about. It's the YNs down here that I be worried about.
And you finna get a old end because he's 24 years old and he got 4 Big Ten championships, and you gonna be the Big 11th because he gonna throw you out there like DJ Jazzy Jeff, my boy.
Yeah, I hear you.
But good luck and God speed. With that being said, you got anything else that people need to know for
I wanted to talk about the track athlete getting hit in the head by the other track, the whole baton smacking somebody in the back of the head during a race type thing. Some people are saying it was an accident. Some people are saying it's not. I can't
If you ever been hit
imagine.
with something before, you know which one it is.
Well, the girl said she got a cracked skull now, the one that got hit. So,
I,
but
I would say the same.
But I will say the theme of a lot of this news when it comes to sports and when we talk about when we get to basketball is some of y'all sometimes, especially anything in the culture, HBCU, you had the discussion about Greek life and all of that stuff. Sometimes y'all just got to sit and be quiet for a second. Sometimes
Or get hit.
no. Sometimes you just got to sit and be quiet and let the news play out and let all sides of the stories come out. Right? Y'all were condemning this girl, allegedly, the one that struck her opponent with the baton, and she said she was getting death threats. Like, come on now. That's a little, that's not even a little, that's too harsh. So all I want y'all to do is just sit back and let the news play out and let everything play out. Because if this truly was an accident, y'all have scarred this girl for the foreseeable future.
Now, accident.
You said it was an accident too. No, you just said it was an accident.
No. That was me being sarcastic. I think she did that maliciously. I've been in a lot of sporting activities. A lot of them are full contact. Never is there, oh, my bad, I didn't mean to hit you upside the head with that baton. That sounds like the police. Please stop resisting, sir. You making me do this to you. So yeah. All you gotta do is stop moving, son. As soon as you stop, I'll make this easy on you. No, I don't believe that for 1 minute, not for 1 second. I think she did it. I was about to sound like Sam Jackson. Yeah, she did it. You're burning hell. No, I don't believe that, but it's surely something there, man. I'm not gonna sit up here and say it was accidental. It looked malicious and it looked like it was effective. Got it right on out of there. It looked like Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Hardin to me. But that's just my opinion. I'm only one human, and I never claim to be right all the time.
Yes, you do.
That's
we
not
have
true.
video evidence. We have video evidence.
I am not. I am not right all the time. That's actually one of the few things that drives me absolutely nuts. Is
you
I am
need
a
to
person
belong
who
in an
actually,
insane asylum because you.
I'm actually one of the people who says that, hey man, I be wrong a lot, and I'm okay with that.
No, you don't. You never admit you're wrong. You always like rephrase things to try to make yourself sound partially right.
Maybe I talk in a way that I want to gain understanding, but
sure. Yeah.
But people don't want to hear that. People want to hear that.
I never said I'm always right.
I hate people who say that they're always right. That is one of it drives me crazy. With that being said, though, I think that is all we have for the mic check, and the mic has been in fact checked. Charger sign Najee Harris. Boy, by the time we get to football, they might have shuffled the whole deck. I'm just gonna
or not. I tell you, one hand that got a whole bunch of nothing. Me, us. You see me. This is the uniform of despair. We ain't did shit. So
hey, but sometimes not doing shit will keep you out of some shit. It's some people who did some shit today, and you be like, you know what? You could have kept that.
Yeah, we're gonna get to
it. You could have kept that. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the point where we suggest you at least get you some water. I'm gonna go grab my water, and then we'll come back. And then after HBCU, we'll have a couple beverages in there mixed in with the fellowship. With that being said, we will be right back. Reggie Hayden. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, we are back. We are back. We are back. This is episode 181 of the Splashcast. I am your boy Norwood.
I'm gonna do my intro. We ain't did that in a couple episodes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 181 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host Reggie.
I'm your co-host Norwood. Our powers combined. We are your HBCU homeboys. How we doing?
Man,
Welcome
I'm cool,
back.
bro. I'm cool. Not panicking at all. Expecting to be let down again.
Why you say that?
Because you don't see my uniform.
We taking it a day at a time.
That normally means you ain't got nothing. What is it? What's the spades reference? Study long, study wrong. Bro, we studying a long time while everybody else dropping them spades out there. We up here like, well, I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna try to make this jack walk. No.
Hey, and sometimes that jack might walk under the right.
I'm holding out hope for one big transaction, but I doubt it'll happen. So we'll see. But
day at a time.
y'all know what it is when it comes to Monday Night Raw, man. We do HBCU news around the culture. Hoops now goes first, and then basketball then football because it is basketball season. We got a few things we're gonna talk about today. Norwood's gonna run through a couple things, and then I'm gonna gloat a little bit after Norwood runs through the first two quick hits. Our new segment. I'm gonna gloat a little bit.
You got a little run here. All right. Well, we're gonna start out with. Here, 2025 HBCU Indoor Track and Field National Champions. That is your Kentucky State University Thoroughbreds. This is women's, of course. Congratulations on a fantastic season. Then next up,
great mascot for
fantastic.
that.
And it's original. It's just you don't hear about
Kentucky
that many thoroughbreds.
Yeah,
I guess you're right. And I guess Aiken County Thoroughbreds because they do a lot of horse racing there too. But next up, 14-0. That is your Norfolk State Lady Spartans, their first undefeated MEAC campaign in program history. Congratulations. This is right on time as Michael Vick makes his entrance as their head football coach. Talk about getting their ducks in a row, maybe taking a page out of the FAMU Rattlers book of getting things high tide racing on ships and you getting your things in order at the right time to be able to dominate on multiple sports.
Yeah, Norfolk State's kind of on a run right now, man.
Right.
They
I think they plan to keep running.
Yeah, boy, because their boys team ain't bad either. But shout out to them.
All right, and I guess will be the Reggie segment.
They're going to move on out the way. Just come on, bring on the picture. Just
There
bring
you
on
go.
the picture, brother.
Hold on. I hit the wrong button just that quick, Lord. Where you want to start? I guess we'll start with
Southern University. We can start where you want to. It don't matter. The SWAC belongs to Baton Rouge in basketball this year. Southern University women's basketball team is the regular season SWAC champions. Shout out to them. They dominated the SWAC. I think they went like 15-2 in the SWAC or something similar to that. I think they only had 2 SWAC losses, which is kind of unheard of. Now they head into the tournament with the number 1 seed. They get a bye in the first round of the SWAC tournament or the qualifying round. So shout out to the women's basketball team. We've been covering them all year, man. They have been not even quietly. They have just dominated the SWAC, man. Shout out to them. Congratulations.
Up next.
Right back. 2025 men's basketball regular season champione, depending on where you are in the world. The Southern University men's basketball team is the SWAC championship. They dominated too. Now they will have a little tougher road. They do get the number 1 seed, but they did back into the tournament. They lost it with Bethune-Cookman. But they get the number 1 seed. They are favored to win, and it would be, I don't know if it'll be the first time, but it would be if it is not the first, it's one of few where both the men and women have an opportunity and are favored to win the SWAC tournament and go to the NCAA tournament with a bid. That would be fantastic. I may walk to Baton Rouge if they go. I may try to figure out how to, if they can make it all the way through the SWAC tournament, it would be awesome. But don't downplay everybody else though. FAMU's good, but no, Cookman's good. That's MEAC. I was gonna say Norfolk, of course. But don't downplay all these other teams. Alabama A&M, all of those guys are good. So it's gonna be a fun SWAC tournament, and it's in Atlanta. So I'm gonna be at least at some of the games. It's gonna be great.
Right. Next up, the winning does not stop there.
Yeah. Oh man, head coach.
Carlos Funches.
Yeah, head coach Carlos Funches won SWAC Coach of the Year, deservedly so. Led the team to a SWAC championship, of course, and they're favored to win the SWAC tournament. It's one of the more historical seasons that they've had. There's a buzz in Baton Rouge. Hopefully, they can build this up and keep this going. And alumni give
Right.
This is what happens. You have to
pay the money, pay the man. You got to pay him. Especially now, you got to pay the man to be the man, or you ain't gonna see the man. Congratulations to Coach Funches. Clean sweep by Southern. You put a lot of pressure on that football team to keep the winning going. Talking about people who have the winning going, Eddie George has been hired as the new head football coach of Bowling Green. He spent the last 4 years at Tennessee State, taking them to didn't they go to the CAA championship?
Tennessee State?
Tennessee State.
CAA. They went to the Ohio Valley.
They
won their first Ohio Valley Conference regular season title since 1998.
Yes, congratulations again to Eddie George. This is a guy who we've talked about on the podcast umpteen million times of doing it well, being an advocate for HBCUs. He did, I don't ask for anything more than 4 or 5 years, just an opportunity to get your whole recruiting class. We are praying for Tennessee State in there, as they continue to kind of fight with the state about land grant and trying to keep themselves fiscally sound. But once again, congratulations to Eddie George, and we will continue to follow him. I will say one of the most impressive things, and I know it's not a guy who I champion the majority of the time, but from my understanding is the athletic director had a direct conversation with Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer basically put Eddie George on this job. He said, you don't even need to talk to anybody else. You need to talk to Eddie George. He said, don't even look at this resume. Talk to him as a man. And the athletic director said, basically, after I talked to him as a man, there was not even another person I was interested in talking to.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, but that was a good point. I want to address a few of us. I like talking to us because we tend to be on both sides of the fence here. And y'all try to call us out and make us like hypocrites and stuff. Go back to Eddie. Okay. There's a difference between the way Eddie George took this job and leaving an HBCU and others leaving an HBCU. Eddie George worked on land grants. Eddie George publicly advocated for the school. Eddie George did everything correctly. Eddie George worked with the administration in order to move up. Eddie George laid out a plan for his career. He laid out a plan for the school. He laid out a plan for the program. And he went on behalf of the school and spoke in front of state government and Department of Education. He did everything correctly in order to move up, and then was gracious in the fact that he moved up. The fact that your current employer went to another employer and said, hey, I got this guy right here. He's the bee's knees. He's exactly what you need in order to build this up. And he went to Ohio State. He's an Ohio guy. This is what you need. This is the next stepping stone for him. And it could be mutually beneficial. When you have that vote of confidence, first off, as you said, shout out to the president and athletic director of Tennessee State. If I were a coach and I was trying to build something up, I'm definitely going to Tennessee State and looking to go there. You did everything the right way. So there's a fundamental difference between trashing somebody when you leave versus leaving with dignity and respect. And Eddie George is in the embodiment of dignity and respect. So that's all I really wanted to say. It's not really much more I can't say. Congratulations to him. I fully expect him to be at Ohio State in the next 5 to 10 years or somewhere up there. He's not going to be at Bowling. He's going to be at Bowling Green in another 5 years. And then he's going to be right back up there somewhere else. He's too good of a coach.
I do,
man.
And the thing about him is he does with grace and class. That's the part is it's not enough of that. Eddie George not in no BS. He's not. I got to step on somebody to uplift myself, and he does a great job of uplifting men. Like
ain't riding no motorcycles with Michigan States. Ain't doing no crazy nothing.
Bobby
He out there with his
back.
Oh, raising he out there with his black wife at a HBCU, building a black folk,
talented black wife too. Put some
yeah,
put some respect on her name too, because she talented. Now
this
and then finally, this is something that I was able to, not necessarily this event, but the entire rodeo. We're gonna back y'all down with the sound a little bit here. But for the people who are listening, this is the Texas Southern and Prairie View Band playing together during Black Appreciation Weekend. And I think this is the first time the two bands have performed together. And if I remember correctly, this is during the Bun B concert. This was epic. It was great to see, especially for the two HBCUs in the city to be together at such a massive concert. Great job from both bands.
Yeah. Rivalries run deep. This is like Southern Grambling performing together. This is like Howard Hampton performing together, FAMU, Bethune-Cookman. So the fact that they perform together, shout out to Bun B. He's been putting on for the state of Texas for forever. To be able to get them together and show a little unity is what we need right now. So I'm happy for it.
No, he when I tell you he killed the whole weekend, T.I. pop out, Ludacris pop out, everything happened. You can't ask for a better orchestrated, put together, and that's all. Like it's the rodeo, and the rodeo is Texas. For that one night, those couple of days, it's Houston. So that is extremely important to the people to see different representation. And from what I saw, that night was packed.
Yep.
With that said, we are going to take a short break. We're going to come back and hit basketball. Me and Reggie going to be very frank with y'all. Football has just won the day, won the
usurped, week. As they say.
Well played. Well played. So we're going to have basketball conversation, but football is where it's at. I ain't going to lie to y'all. I'm not going to pump fake y'all. Give us a few seconds, and we shall be right back. Reggie, come back with a beverage or no?
Oh, I got his hard liquor. I ain't got no beer, so no.
Fair enough. Get whatever vices you need, and we will be back here momentarily.
We'll be right back.
Reggie back with the vibe. No, go ahead, drink that Ecto Cooler. I know how I see when I see it. I know how I see when I see it.
So I lied. I decided to partake. Damn. Chase Young got $51 million. Wow.
From who?
The Saints.
Cool. He ain't worth that. But we'll
No.
talk about that when we get to that.
That's good, Lord. See, that's why I ain't want to do it.
And you pump faked me. I would have. You know what? That's all right. Football is when we need it anyway.
Yeah, I'm getting ready because I'm being real cordial here because football. I'm gonna lose my shit a little bit, bit. What's up, y'all? I like StreamYard. Shout out to StreamYard. Listen, if you want some promo, if you want us to be some spokespersons and be able to speak on the greatness that this is right now compared to what we were using before, we ain't gonna trash nobody else.
Oh, yes, we are. Whoa. You clear. Oh, hold on. Well, go ahead. You know what? Give it to you first. Go ahead. Say what you got to say.
Shout out to StreamYard. Look, if y'all want to give us a sponsorship, we are willing to talk about the difficulties that we had using other platforms and the simplicity that it is for StreamYard. Shout out to my partner. Shout out to my podcast partner as well as my wife for both suggesting StreamYard. My podcast partner went with it. My wife had said it a long time ago. This is fantastic. I just wanted to say good job.
Let me get myself on here.
Hey, you better?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, let me tell you. I hate what we was using before. It sent me to the depths of anger, despair, pissed off them. And I try to do my best to govern myself in a way where I don't find myself getting truly upset and getting angry. Well, y'all may not know it, but last Monday I was furious. I did not sleep well. I was everything, all of the feelings at one time. And I got so mad that I just told Red, I was like, scrap it. We ain't got it. And if by the time that we got it together in the manner that I wanted it to be, I wasn't going to be able to pod in a way that was effective. So for me, this move to StreamYard has been fantastic. It ain't been perfect, but I'd say it's been damn near close. Y'all see our shiny new car? I think it looks damn good. And my peace has at least momentarily been restored. I am much happier now. And yes, I am not only a supporter, but I am a user. Take that joke for however you want to. I don't care because I'm happy. Thank you, StreamYard.
That's what most people that say. Actually, that is normally the line that follows that line.
Hey, I'm thrilled. Yep. I love it. Y'all see what it say down there at the bottom? Like, subscribe, share. You see the cars in the background. They trying to have Fast and Furious. They so happy. But yes, I'm thrilled.
Shout out to StreamYard that blocked out that background noise because no, we did not hear that at all.
Oh, that's what's up. See, that's what happened. Shout out to y'all. Without y'all, none of this would be possible. Literally. With that being said, we're gonna hop in the hoops here. It's going to be quick-ish. We still got some things to talk about. First thing up, we're gonna run to the ladies. And Juju Watkins overtakes Caitlin Clark as the NCAA's all-time leader in score for points in women's basketball in the first 2 seasons. We're waiting to see if Juju is actually going to play all of the seasons, but to me, this is the Patrick Mahomes Tom Brady Award, where, all right, this is the Lifetime Achievement Award. This is the person who has all of the 4-year awards, but at this point, she's further along in her, I would say, mile, and of course, 4 laps around the track. At the half point, she's ahead of Caitlin Clark. It will be up to her if she stays in college and tries to break every record, or if she comes to WNBA and, shows up early. It's a feat for sure. And it's up to her to see what she does next. What do you think about this, Reggie?
So I don't want to be viewed as a hater, but I'm sure I will be, and I don't care. This one of them made up. This one of them made up records. Shout out to Juju. Juju is going to be the number one pick whenever she decides to come. If it's at next year's draft, year after, whatever. But to be the NCAA's all-time leading scorer in points in women's basketball in first 2 seasons is one of them made up records. That's the fastest person to get to 2,000 yards and Yo, I don't care. Respectfully, I don't care. Now, if you go on to break the record, cool. We can keep track of it, right? We can keep track of it, but this ain't no all-time leading scorer. You're not the all-time leading scorer of nothing, right? You're really good. You scored a lot of points in 2 years, but you're not the all-time leading scorer of nothing. So I love the fact that we're celebrating women's basketball. I love the fact that we're celebrating her progress. This is progress. We're celebrating her progress. But let's let her get to the point where she decides if I'm going to stay and break the records, if I'm going to go. NIL has changed a lot of things. So let's get to the point where we get to the actual record and celebrate the breaking of the record, then celebrate the progress. To me, to
me, it's like the Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony Awards, or the records, or whatever you want to call them. When they go, they're not going to be here for 4 years. They're not. The days of trying to break the all-time scoring record in college, that's going to be done by a guy who's probably going to be a coach.
Selling insurance.
If you breaking that record, you're playing for 4 years, bro. And if you're playing for 4 years, you're probably not playing the NBA at all. So congratulations for whatever, but I think that's just what it is. And next up, we have Kara Lawson. She is the third Black coach to win the ACC title, and she is the head coach of the women's Duke Blue Devils. Congratulations. She has been on a warpath as far as coaching. She's done a lot for this team, and to win this championship just shows her hard work and dedication. Congratulations.
Yeah, she joins Kenny Brooks and Niall Ivey. Of course, Jaden Ivey's mother, who coaches at Notre Dame. Kara Lawson. Ooh, we're gonna age ourselves, but I remember when she played in the WNBA in college basketball. She was really, really good back in the day. Shout out to her. Shout out to Duke. I can't believe. She had to upset Notre Dame.
Right.
They got like the top 2 players in the nation in the backcourt. So it's going to be a fun tournament. I watched most of the tournament. They were all good. We talked about Paige Buchers.
That's where they play real basketball in quarters. So you know how I feel about it. So
yep.
Wish the boys would be nearly this interesting.
Well, they're petitioning for it now, but Cooper Flag, we'll get to it. Well, we won't actually, because we're going to go to NBA, but the Cooper Flag is kind of changing the way that they're viewing this.
I think so. And Lil Birdie said he might want to stay in college, and I look at the draft.
I would too. I'm not going to Washington.
I'm not going to Washington. No, nothing at the bottom is. But the thing is, they're gonna be at the bottom again. They're at the bottom this year, and they got Sarr and still at the bottom.
And the thing is, he's got to declare. Well, since we off of this, shout out to Kara Lawson. The thing is, he's got to declare before the lottery. If I'm not mistaken, the lottery is in April. He's got to declare before then, right?
I don't like that. I would rather see the lottery first.
Yeah, let me make sure. Let me see if Wemby gonna be number 1. San Antonio gonna be number 1. I'm there. I'm declaring.
Or Utah. I think he would be perfect in Utah.
You see your boy Filipowski. Double.
Quietly. And I've been telling y'all this. Utah
put number 1. Here we go.
Danny Ainge has put together a team, and now he's taking the team on purpose. That's the reason Colin Sexton, John Collins, and what's up with the Braves, Jordan Clarkson. That's the reason they don't play. They always be like, oh, back injury, rest. No, he's taking out. Hey, let's see what the rest of these guys look like, and then we'll get there. Speaking of getting
demographic is what the Braves said. The demographic. They don't fit our demographic.
And he fits the demographic perfectly. And if you could put Walker Kessler, I still think John Collins, Cooper Flag, Keontae George and Isaiah Collier. Oh man, because Isaiah Collier been playing lights out.
Yep.
Quiet.
We're gonna get to the Bronny conversation. I can't wait to get there.
Yes. Next up, we're gonna have a season update, and
We suck.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Let's go ahead and update it right now. We were up by a whole lot until just recently, and there are like, excuse me,
30
there's
seconds
like
left.
30,
We're up by
30
5. We're talking about the
Yeah.
Atlanta Hawks. So we keep saying we. We are talking. We are now at our Hawks talk. The Hawks are playing the 76ers. Nobody's playing. No Embiid, no Paul George, no Tyrese Maxey, no Trae Young, no Jalen Johnson. It's just the G League and Ricochet out there.
Whoa. This is
I don't
where
like
I
him.
think
I don't care. I don't like him. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't like George Niang. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
that's fine. Don't have to like him. Another 18 points tonight. 3 of 8
Yeah.
from 3.
3 of 8.
Yeah. I'm okay with everything, especially tonight with no Trae, which means we have no point guard. We'll have no point guard on the squad. So this is everybody. This is rec league. Everybody get out there and do the best you can with what you got.
Bro, we played Quentin Grimes, Jared Butler, not Jimmy, Lonnie Walker the 4th, Yabusele, who's nice.
Right.
And that's it. We ain't really playing. Wow. Quentin Grimes got 35.
Ricky
Quentin Grimes has
Council,
35.
19. This is, and I wish
Ah,
we
the
picked up
Ricochet.
Lonnie Walker. Yes.
Shout out to Dyson Daniels and Ricochet. I guess we did have a point guard and Keaton Wallace.
And Terrence Mann, 19 points. Reggie doesn't. I get Reggie's
So
feelings. Free all my people from Utah. I mean, they okay. Danny Ainge is just sinking that team. But as far as the Hawks go, Reggie is upset, and I tell people this. I think that out of all the teams that are competitive, we are the worst team that is trying to compete to win. Yang is Nick Batum after 2 straight sessions at Golden Corral. And that's probably I think first of all, Batum was a decent role player.
He's underrated. He's underrated.
Yeah. And I think that Niang, he's not fun to watch play basketball. Let me tell you that. There is not anybody who you want to watch play basketball less than George Niang. And he has an attitude problem. He talks more shit than he probably should. But
And he don't play no defense, bro. I saw him.
he's
You know when you
slew-footed.
cha-cha slide and you slide to the right and you drag that foot with you when you slide doing the electric slide. That's what he did on defense. I said, oh my God.
He is slew-footed. Now, if you put him and Trae on the same side, oh, barbecue chicken. Ain't nothing you can do. Just go ahead and either hope that they just miss an easy shot or just get on back down the court and try to score fast. But what I will say about him is I think that he's actually a better power forward than DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Hunter, the power forward position, for whatever reason, we could never figure it out. He just hasn't been good. When Evan Mobley was out for the Cavs, he looked like DeAndre Hunter looks at the 4. Do you want to talk about the trade or do you want to talk about last week's basketball first?
What do we need to talk? We talked about trade. What do we need to talk about the trade for? Just an update. DeAndre Hunter is the missing piece for the Cavs. The Cavs are on a 15-game winning streak or 14-game winning streak. Did they win tonight? 14-game winning streak.
But this is the thing. So you're right. They are. You can see at the bottom 11-0. We're 6-6. He's been 15 points, 4 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 51, 50, 86, which is crazy. But Karis LeVert has been 16.8 points, 3.8 rebounds, 2.6 assists, 51, 35, 74%. I honestly think that this is a win-win trade for both teams. We're basically getting the same amount of production with 3 guys as we were with 2 guys, which gives us more rotational depth. And Niang is just Niang and Mohamed Gay at the 4 is just better than what we had going before. I also recognize that Hunter is in a situation where he got 2 back-end defenders doing all the work. You have Donovan Mitchell's playing out of his mind. Darius Garland's playing out of his mind. And his job is just really to shoot open shots. Or at worst, you got one defender on you, which is probably, third best defender.
Well, I mean, when he was here, there was no difference. It's Trey, Jalen, then him. So I mean,
But
it really
when
was
Jalen
no
went
difference.
out, he had to be the guy, which he was off the bench.
He was 6 man. He's like let's not do that. Now he's 6 man of the year favorite for a reason. Like he was cooking. Now the fact that he does get lost defensively, and he didn't fit for us with one player. So I do agree that it's a win-win situation, not because of the Karis LeVert part. It's the Karis LeVert plus the Terrence Mann plus the George Niang.
Yeah.
So
that was the thing for me is
Terrence Mann allows us. Now I do think we messed up by Terrence Mann trying to make him a ball handler. Pause if necessary. He's not. But what he can do and what he's starting to do is hit the 3 more confidently. He's playing defense. Him and Dyson Daniels are terrors. And Karis LeVert, for whatever reason in Cleveland, he fell out of grace in Cleveland. He's been averaging, 15, 20 points a game for the last 5 years. And then last year it dropped down to 12. And then this year with a new coach, new philosophy, Kenny Atkinson, it dropped down to 10. He really wasn't playing. So now he's here, he's rejuvenated, and he got the ball. He's bogey. I mean, he's the bogey role.
Yeah, but bogey wasn't bogey anymore. And I hope that he figures it out.
He might not be, but he for sure gonna cook us on Friday. I can tell you that.
That should be an interesting game. I think that at full strength, they're probably pretty close game.
Full strength. The Clippers and the Hawks, full strength. This is a close game. The Clippers and the Hawks.
Because Kawhi's not playing like a world beater right now. I still don't.
Just hit a game winning shot yesterday.
Okay, but still, I've been watching him because I've invested.
Do you think he's full strength right now?
No.
So full strength. You said full strength.
Oh, well, I'm talking about
full strength Kawhi, full strength Harden.
No. What I say is full strength. They're going to have their full complement of players when we play them. I think that it'll be a pretty close game. I don't think they smoke us.
Now it'll be a close game. If you put the sliders, everybody 100% health, we hang with them for a certain extent.
If you put both teams at 100% strength, I think that the Hawks probably win with depth.
I don't think so. As much as you champion James Harden, that's interesting for me to hear you say that.
Because I think that James Harden and Trae Young are going to basically dogfall each other. They both going to give you about 20 and 13.
They did make the trade. Yeah, they ain't got nobody. Ben Simmons. Now Ben Simmons makes that team interesting, but James Harden, Chris Dunn, Kawhi Leonard, Ivica Zubac, Norman Powell,
Chris Dunn
is the loser. No shade, not a loser, but the guy that's not good on that. Out of that one, Trey don't. And if you were a former Hawk, Trey gonna cook you anyway. So,
and the other part is like Ben Simmons, as good as Ben Simmons might be, I think at this point, Muhammad Gay playing with more confidence today, right now, better basketball player. Should he be today? Yes, right now. Yes.
Muhammad Gay is a better basketball player than Ben Simmons.
If I had to have one on my team, I'd rather have Muhammad Gay than Ben Simmons. Now, Ben Simmons is fantastic on 2K.
We had a conversation last month on the phone now when Ben Simmons was bought out.
He's still not playing with the confidence that I would hope to see from Ben Simmons. That's just really the thing.
Why? That's your fault. What confidence would you hope to see from him?
You done got out of 2 different places that didn't want you. Eventually, I hope that he gets back to where he wants to be or can be. That's all. I'm optimist, and he's on my 2K team, so he's still a world beater as far as I'm concerned.
Man, but yeah, to wrap that up, I think it is a win-win situation for both. I just think DeAndre Hunter now, I need you to be humble. Don't be taking pot shots at the Atlanta Hawks now, talking about we're winning. I'm not used to that. Hold on, bro. We went to the finals. It wasn't our fault. Your body broke down. Now, don't get mad at us. Cause when you were healthy, everybody else wasn't. And when everybody else was healthy, you wasn't. No. Add some context to your comments, brother.
And as far as that goes, I can understand you showed up to an 11-0 run. Things probably did sour for you in Atlanta. But at the end of the day, I'm not upset with this trade. I think that we you have been given the same thing that we gave Cam Reddish. We gave you guys every opportunity in the world to flourish and be a world beater. And at the end of the day, you still let Dyson Daniels and Zachary Risacher take your job.
Shout out to Big Reach. Big Reach taking advantage of his opportunity. Once he gets some weight, he's scary.
And he needs a little bit more confidence. I need more. If it's me, and I know it's a balance what you're trying to do right now with Quinn, but it's no way to Risacher. It's mandatory. You have to take 15 shots every game. If he's not taking 50, I would rather him, and I would hope for him to be our second offensive option. I need
Depends
him
on
to
the
be
lineup.
that.
I mean, you need him to be that. You can't. I mean, that's a lot of expectation for a rookie.
Right. No. I'm understanding right now that you're not there. But what I'm saying is, for the rest of the season, we're just, sometimes you just got to get your, we're going to talk about, especially with Bronny, how you just got to get your ass kicked until you get confident. I think that's what I'm looking for the rest of the season. I don't think that they're going to do that with Risacher either. I know that he did play pretty late into the season, and then after the draft, he basically went straight to the Hawks. So they've been tight on the minutes with him. But I think that the confidence is so important that, hey, man, I need you to kind of get out of being – I would like to push him to see if we get him out of a good role player into like a base level star. Not superstar, not – let's just get you to where Jordan –
Who's a base level star?
I'm looking for, like, I would like for him to have like Jordan Poole when he was on the Warriors, where you're like,
that's $100 and something million.
I mean, it's the first round draft pick. You're
not going to be able to.
He's going to get $100 million contract.
You hope,
especially,
but I don't see him being. I don't know if base level star is Jordan Poole. Yeah, I don't. Because Jordan, I don't see that next year for him. I don't see us taking everybody off the court, just giving him the ball to go cook. He's a spot up shooter. He's a better finisher at the rim than I thought. Much better than I thought. But he still has a ways to go body wise in order to be able to assume the second score. With Trey and Jalen, you're gonna be our number 3 anyway. And I'm assuming we're going to try to re-sign Karis LeVert. So you still may be number 3 even when one of them go to the bench.
But like I guess in the real mold that I would like him in, it's like a better dribbling Klay Thompson.
To a spot up shooter with a handle.
Like his handle is better than Klay's right now. The handle is okay. I want him to be confident, like, all right, well.
That is a very high bar. He's considered the second best or third best 3-point shooter of all time.
I'm not asking for him to shoot at that clip, but I'm asking that, hey, man, we're going to get you 15 shots. You need to look like you can get some buckets here. Like, I think that's his real thing is, hey, man, I can score. I'm not asking him to be Klay in the necessary clip that he shoots, but the role that you play where, we need you to knock these shots down. And especially with Jalen on the floor, you're going to shoot at least a decent amount of either open shots or, once again, the third best defender is on you type of thing. I need you to be able to take advantage of that.
I need him to be Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves, when he came into the league, he was a shooter. I mean, and no shade, but nobody believed that he could develop
Bring the
into the
ball up.
killer that he is. I
Facilitate.
think
light
Ricochet
facilitation.
for the next year or 18 months, that should be his target because I think he's just as good or better than Austin Reeves.
And when you say Austin Reeves, that's what I mean by like the level of confidence. Like, oh, okay, all right, well, LeBron's on the bench. It's me and Luka is deferring to me to let me cook for 3 or 4 minutes. Hey, man, y'all know what time it is. Let's get it. And I think if he can get that, it's because it's not necessarily his shooting as much as he just, to me, don't have enough confidence. Some games he just disappears. And I think that we need you to not disappear. You can't have no nights where you just, where was he at? And then some nights he won't have left a fingerprint on the game.
Yeah, we'll see. But who does have their fingerprints on the game? Ha ha! Your boy. Trae Young was named Eastern Conference Player of the Month, averaging 24.5 points, 13 assists per game, 96.7 free throws. I think he was shooting almost at 40% from three. Trae Young has been the second best point guard in the league this year. Probably the best facilitator. Second best point guard in the league this year. It's just unfortunate that Jalen Johnson got hurt.
You think
that, I mean, Luka? This year, yeah. Luka's been hurt. Luka was hurt for a month. I think it's Shai, Trae, Luka,
Cade.
Cade.
Probably got to say Cade. Cade.
I'm sorry. Top 5 is Shai, however you want to order it, but it's Shai, Trae, Cade, Luka, and I give a tie between Halliburton and Darius Garland. Really, I might give it to Darius Garland because Halliburton's been hurt.
Yes. The thing about Darius Garland is you got world beaters at every position. And yeah, that team is just well put together.
Yeah.
And Ty Jerome. That's the other part. There's certain people that people are just not watching and not knowing that they're playing out of their mind. Ty Jerome has been playing out of his mind. As a guy who's already been an NBA journeyman, considering him and Hunter came out the same year and both played for Virginia, that championship team. Ty Jerome played on like 4 or 5 teams and just could never find a place where he was comfortable. He done got to Cleveland in this system. Oh, shoot lights out.
Well, yeah, he going up against your fifth best defender every game now.
I mean, yeah, because but he wasn't a guy anywhere else that was a leader of a bench squad. He is now. He go out there and
yeah, him and Hunter are battling for 6th man of the year, if I'm not mistaken. They're just on the same team.
Peyton Pritchard too.
Oh yeah, Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, but Clay.
But shout out to Trae. Hey, say something nice about Trae, dog. You say something nice about Trae.
I have been more supportive of Trae this season than ever before. I think that he's done a lot to not shoot as many Trae Young shots, and I really appreciate that. His facilitation has been elite. 13 assists a game is outrageous. 96.7 free throw percentage is,
yeah, but wasn't an all-star
that's
starter.
A lot.
Wasn't an all-star starter though. Ooh, Diamond dozen. Diamond dozen. Call back. I said I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna wait till the end of the season. I just want to see how this gonna play.
Everything is right with what y'all are saying, but at the same time, you could stick 10 guards in the Donovan Mitchell spot, and I think that you get the same thing.
Okay, cool.
Devin Booker gives you the same thing. Zach
LaVine
gives you the same thing. Like,
no, he doesn't.
I respectfully disagree. But shout out to Sneaky.
We gonna see. We said it with the Eagles. I let you get that point off about the Eagles over and over and over again, and then they won the Super Bowl. I gave you a chance for you to make that happen. I'm not gonna say nothing for Donovan Mitchell. Once he does, if whatever happens, and then we'll revisit it at the end of the year.
Absolutely. I'm I'm not against being wrong. The Eagles did turn it around at the right time. They started playing. They lost to the Falcons, bro. Yes, if you lose to the Falcons and then you go out and got
It
beat
went
handily.
13 handle. We won on the last play of the game.
Ain't the Falcons, bro.
See what I mean? Remember what I told y'all at the beginning?
I mean, I don't exactly remember it, but yeah,
Case in point number one.
Losing to the Falcons, that ain't it, bro. But they proved me wrong. I'm okay with being wrong. If you have a lot of opinions, you're gonna be wrong. So do you have anything else to say about the Hawks before we move on?
I'm surprised that we actually are in this to win. I hope I don't see us making it out to play in. I'm sorry, I don't see us making it out of having to play in the play in. But I do think if we can get,
you don't think we make it to the playoffs?
Yeah. What I'm saying is, I don't think we make it out of having to play in the play in. I think with the highest seed we're gonna get is 7. Yeah, I think we win that, and we're gonna get the 7th seed, and then we're gonna have to end up playing Boston, which ain't really what we want. But I mean, it is what it is.
Let's see here. Well, we're at 7 and 31 and 34. The Orlando Magic continue to slide. They're 30 and 35. The Heat are 29 and 34. Yeah. Right. And I think eventually, just also the pressure of the guys having to play well when Paolo was out and then Franz was out. That's only so much you're going to get before people run out of gas. It's a lot of extra work on those guys. The Heat and the Bulls, like, we need to be head and shoulders.
The Bulls are scary. The Bulls are scary. The Bulls are that team that can make a scary, quite a little run. Kobe White getting 50 points. I didn't have that on my 2025 bingo card. Like, that's something I didn't see.
The Bulls are frustrating because they're another team that's minus Patrick Williams is put together pretty decently. Vooch has been hooping. You got Josh Giddey, who I will go to my grave saying, OKC, you probably should have probably just rocked with him. I mean, Lonzo,
you can't rock with PDF. Can't do it.
Oh, well, he didn't PDF right.
Go ahead. Say it. Walk yourself down that aisle, bro.
Chicago boy. That boy went the right step in the name of love. Josh Giddey, boy. He went
Trae Young assist right there. You didn't even know. You didn't even know that the alley was right there.
Bruh.
That boy said, you know what? Never mind.
But at the end of the day, I like the Bulls. I think the Bulls have a solid core. Now you got to move Patrick Williams.
They need a big
man. I think that's what they should be in the hunt for. But if they can get a big and then maybe a stretch 4, they could be something. Kobe White, Lonzo Ball, Josh Giddey, and Buzelis, and Kevin Huerter. It's enough. It's enough in that backcourt.
Yeah, they got shooters. They need a front court.
They need a couple bigs. If they could get that, they could cause problems. I don't think they cause problems this year, especially because Patrick Williams just doesn't do anything good.
Nothing.
So yeah, I don't know if we could catch the Pistons. They 36 and 29. They got a 5-game lead on us, but I think we play them 2 times between then and now.
Bro, K cook us every time we play him. Every time we play him, he cook us.
Our schedule is relatively easy after we kind of caught. We've been on a bender. The last month, I don't think that we played any team where we were supposed to win the game.
And we didn't win a lot of them. We lost a lot of them.
Right. But I think that having an easier schedule towards the end of the season will do us well, especially playing, we were able to sweep the Pacers. Philly is just falling apart. We get Charlotte. If we can beat, the Clippers, the Nets, Charlotte again. We get Philly again. We could push this thing. We could push it and make it a fight. I don't exactly know what the Pistons look like for the rest of the season, but I would like to see us give best effort. And it was good to
We
get.
do have a favorable schedule.
Yes.
Ooh, Magic,
played
76ers, Nets, Magic, Jazz, Knicks, that's gonna be tough. Mavs, Hawks,
But we can beat the Knicks.
Trailblazers. We should beat
especially with some confidence.
Bucks, Heat, Rockets. We're not gonna beat the Bucks. We don't have the size to beat.
Yeah, no, but we could be, especially if we could beat Orlando twice, Utah, Brook. Like there are just enough winnable games between now and then. If we get our confidence rolling, then yeah, we could get out of that. And if we're playing that well going into the playoffs, we could be a headache for somebody.
Yeah, because the Pistons got Wizards. They got Thunder, Pelicans, Heat, Mavericks, Pelicans, Spurs, Cavs, Timberwolves, Thunder, Raptors, Grizzlies, Knicks, Bucks. Oh yeah, we might be able to catch them because that's a tough. They play a team in the playoff hunt or better than them in like 75% of their final games. So yeah, we may be able to get up there.
And the big thing about it is, Trey, if you want your money, which we know you won't, then it's in your best interest to look like a world beater at the end of this season. And if you could get us out of the play-in and get us into the playoffs,
I think that ship is sailed. He's the Eastern Conference Player of the Month. He's leading the league in assists.
Okay, so this is the part about Trey that I've been thinking about more recently is you also have to come to a point where can you win with him? Like even
the Eastern Conference Finals.
I think that's more team than Trey. I know that everybody will say it's more Trey than team, but I don't think that we haven't even that season. You go back and look at the season, we were mediocre. Then after that season, we had a little bit of time with Nate when we were 500. After we fired Nate, we've never been 500 again.
Nate fault. We've discussed this over and over. Nate didn't develop. We discussed this over and over again. Nate ain't developed nobody.
Nate is gone.
We were about to trade Jalen Johnson.
That was disastrous. Why, boy? Now that's the one thing, Nate. I love you, but boy, how you weren't playing John? Like we had 48 minutes. We had 48 minutes of what should have been excellent center and power forward play every night.
Timothy Lou Cabarro.
Well, I think he's in the G League again. I was like, bro, go home, Roger. Nate, that part I don't understand. We should have been running people out of the gym front court wise. But I do think there has to be management has to look and say, hey, it's cool that Trey scores all these points. Can we win with this?
We were winning. When Jalen was healthy, we were like a 5-6 seed.
We still weren't 500.
Yeah, we was a 5. I mean, we was like at the beginning of the season. I think our highest seeding when Jalen was healthy was the 5 or 6 seed.
But we still were not 500 because that was always my thing. Is now we're getting to the point where Quinn has been coaching equal to or like at the end of the season, he will have coached more games than Nate did. Nate was good or bad. Nate was Mr. 500. Quinn ain't been Mr. 500. His winning percentage for the Atlanta Hawks is not 500. And you can't fire another coach. I don't know what you do with Trey because for the last 2 years, we've basically been the worst team trying to actually win. Every other team below us basically is trying to tank.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to blame, a double-double lead in the league and assists. But I do think you still have to tweak the roster. I love Clint Capella, but bro, if Trey's averaging 13 assists, he should be averaging 17. Because Clint Capella gonna miss you 3-4 bunnies a night.
Yeah. So this is kind of the thing. Quinn Snyder is 78 and 91 with the Hawks. The thing is, in order for Trey to be successful, you have to have a guy like Dyson Daniels, elite level defender. But then that kind of handicaps how good your shooting guard can be, because where's the guy who's, even just pretty good on offense and that level defender? That ain't $40 million.
There's no defensive player of the year that's that good on offense that you're gonna get for that. I don't. The last defensive player of the year last year was who? Drew Holiday, right? Then he won it last year, year before.
No. Marcus Smart was the last guard. Everybody else was a big.
Really?
Yeah, because after Marcus Smart won it, there's like, yeah.
So Marcus Smart is Dyson Daniels. He's a defensive player.
Yeah, but they also have Jaren Jackson Jr. That's the reason that worked. We don't have Jaren Jackson.
Oh,
Jr.
he won defensive player of the year with the Celtics.
Oh, well, we don't have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm saying is, I don't know, like, Trey is good, but in order to have the defense that you need, I don't know if you can do that and have scoring, which is the issue now, where the defense is good, but us getting points.
How many teams have a player that is a lockdown defender and a scorer at the 2?
Most people don't have to have that because their point guard is at least, like, he's just not getting crushed on defense. That's the reason I'm saying Trey is kind of in a unique position, because you got to have a guy who can really go out there and get it. But that's the reason we wanted DeJounte, was we didn't have enough score when Trey's off the court. When Trey goes off the court now, that's the
Caris LeVert. But
he helps.
If you,
and that's the reason the Trey works. Now that we kind of talked ourselves in a circle.
The best comp that you want to do with Trey, I'm not saying he's this person, but the way that they built the team around it is Steph. That's the best. Steph was a defensive liability till I don't even know when he's not. I'd assume now at this point he's okay. He was a defensive liability, but they brought in Draymond, they brought in Iggy, they brought in other long defenders that could Gary Payton Jr. is a defender. They put him at the 1. Andrew Wiggins. They always brought in somebody else to be able to put Steph on the non-shooter, the whatever, or
but
just the shooter.
But the thing about it is, Steph also had Klay, arguably top 5 shooter of all time, and Kevin Durant. We don't have a way to get a guy to get either one of those.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he had Klay, but defensive. Oh, and he had Klay. So defensively, like you can mask Trey. I mean, there's no reason that you could have Trey and say I believe the trade-off to get somebody else other than Trey is going to be difficult for 26 and 13. You ain't, I don't know who you're going to find, especially now that DeJounte Murray just tore his Achilles, even if you wanted to circle back at that. I don't know who you're going to find that is going to give you 26 and 13 and play defense.
But I don't need you to play defense. I just need you not to be a defensive turnstile. There's the difference. I just need
you've been on record this year saying he's been better at defense. He's not a turnstile.
You're right. He's better, and it's still not moving the needle. That's the issue. And what we had to give up, like, this is what I said, even with the DeJounte trade, was we're going to trade DeJounte, and as soon as we trade DeJounte, we're going to be right where we were 2 years ago, where when Trey goes off the court, we don't have enough scoring. Now, Caris LeVert has kind of helped us out so far, but I don't think that he's the answer.
I don't 100% blame Trey for that. We've talked about the front office. Bro, we have not addressed the backup point guard in 3 years.
Now, I think some of that was to accommodate Trey. I think the Kobe Buffkin situation has just been unfortunate. He's had 2 season-ending injuries basically at the beginning of the season. I don't exactly know what we're gonna do with him.
Yeah, you do. But we ain't got nobody else. We ain't went and got
Hey,
nobody. We gonna keep him.
Jurisic, bring him. Every time he played the G League, I put, hey, bring him to the varsity. I want to know what we have going into next season more than anything. And I'll be honest, like, I know you want to replace Clint, but replace Clint with what? Because nights like tonight,
you gonna hate me for saying this. I've been saying this for 2 years. I like the kid Moses Brown. For what Clint does, Moses Brown does the same thing. He's tall, he can finish dunks, and he rebounds and blocks shots. He's the same person. Now, Clint is probably has a better basketball IQ, and he's better when that comes in handy on defense. But Clint misses so many layups. His free throws have gotten worse. Moses Brown, I saw him hit 5 free throws in a row for Dallas.
Moses Brown is he can't stay on the team, bro. And if you can't stay on nobody's team,
I'm not arguing with that. But Clint, for what Clint is giving you, I would give up, especially with Mo Gay. And we'll move on to the Lakers because I want to talk about the Stephen A. Smith LeBron thing and apparently Kendrick Perkins and Chuck beef. But Mo Gay gives you more flexibility than Clint. Now he's hitting the 3 and he blocking shots. And he's 16.
I like Mo Gay. Boy, that name is treacherous.
You like it?
I do really like him. He plays like aggressive. He plays hard, but sometimes you can also tell he hasn't played basketball his entire life. So sometimes he just gets kind of out of whack. And he's very reminiscent to like Bruno to me, where it's like I could see how you could be a good basketball player. Now his effort is like Bruno level. Now his abilities, if Bruno was in that body, Bruno would not be constantly searching for a team.
If Bruno had Mo Gay's skill set, Bruno would be a starting 4.
Right. Yeah. And small ball 5, honestly.
I like Mo. Mo, he's physical. Like he goes up and he tries to block shots. I don't want to sound racist, but he came out. He don't be scared of nothing. Like you go up, try to dunk on it, I'm gonna try to block the shot. He can shoot the 3, and he can move his feet on defense. He played more than Yang. Like when Yang ain't hitting 40%, he be on the bench because of Mo.
Yeah. It depends. There, stylistically, you're picking what guy you have. If you got a guy that's closer to what George Niang looked like, then you want to put George out there. If you got a guy who's athletic, George Niang gonna get cooked. You put Mo Gay out there and just hope that he don't foul out or he don't fall in love with the 3-pointer, which is kind of tricky because you like Muhammad Gay. I don't necessarily know if I want you shooting all these threes, but I kind of need you to shoot them. It's the same thing with Okongwu. Okongwu knocked one down, and every time I'd be like,
no, Josh Smith all over again. No.
We're not even gonna speak that into existence. The jump shot Josh would make you want to. Make you want to test something.
But you need Mo Gay because that keeps Onyeka Okongwu from taking them threes. It lets Okongwu is the best 6'8" center I've seen. He's the best 6'8" center I've seen in a long time. He's just stronger than everybody else, so he's good. But see, the thing
is, like even tonight, man, I love Okongwu. 15 points, 5 rebounds. That's the reason that Clint has always been the starter. Is Clint gonna get them 10 rebounds? He gonna get them.
He gonna get you 5 points and 5 missed free throws.
No, man, Clint gonna get you 12 and 12 every night.
Trey gonna get you 12 and 12. Trey gonna get Clint 12 points. Or 8 out of the 12. Trey will get Clint 8 out of the 12.
I mean, he also getting him 12 rebounds. Like that's the thing I need. And I guess he would be better.
I think in the last month, I'm gonna average like 15 and 15.
I think for me, it would be better. It'll be a little bit easier. We get Jalen Johnson back because he is an elite rebounder at the 4, and he'll take some of the pressure off of Okongwu of getting everything. That's another reason.
Brown, and then you can go get somebody else. Get you cheap 5.
I think that there are other 5s. I'll have to look, and we'll talk about this umpteen more times. There's some other guys I like a little bit more than Moses Brown. I want a guy who I think is a legitimate NBA player every week, not an NBA player sometime, G League player sometime.
Well, when you find them for the money, you let me know.
Absolutely. Next up, let's talk about these Lakers. First thing, quick hit. LeBron has what some people believe.
Boy, tore his nuts again. Pulled his nuts. No pause. Take that how you want it.
Reggie is crazy, man. The man has a groin strain. It is inopportune for the Lakers. It's extremely opportune for us. The Lakers look like the world beaters as soon as they acquired Luka. They look like nothing could stop them. And old age tapped Braun on the shoulder and said, "Relax, my boy."
Hey, big dog, all them pivots you did in the paint, you ain't 27 no more. You ain't even 37, big dog.
Right. And I will say that I'm never happy for an injury, but let me tell you this. This probably, I mean, as a team that was number 2, we was finna tank out on this. The draft was looking bad for us. I'm really hoping that the Lakers kind of lose a few games, and by a few, I mean 15 or whatever's left.
With your man Luka? Hell no.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah,
I mean,
get 4 days off. Yeah. Sure.
But you know that when they say 1 to 2 weeks, now we're the only team that always says reevaluate in 1 to 2 weeks. We never gonna tell you when we think somebody coming back.
No,
we just bring them out like tonight. V, hey, you ready,
V?
Yeah,
we raid the G League whenever somebody get hurt. Now, Rui, LeBron, Jackson Hayes, Dorian Finney-Smith are all out. That
good
is interesting. They look like the Mavs. The Mavs only had 5 players.
Drop them all. We are here. And we are here for a draft pick only. I don't want nobody to be injured, but also we need that draft pick because with the Kings draft pick can't be good or we won't get it.
What's your thoughts on Stephen A. Smith and LeBron?
So first, Stephen A. Smith has spoken about LeBron and Bronny multiple times on the show. I think that the thing that kind of set LeBron off was him talking about as a father, like kind of getting Bronny out of the situation that he ultimately put him in. I think that the conversation, Bronny is a man, and we keep talking around him like he's a kid. I don't like that for him. And I don't like this, like it kind of puts LeBron in a situation. I've been jokingly calling him LeCaren for the way that he handled the situation with Stephen A. Smith. And I thought this was post-game. He went and talked to Stephen A. Smith mid-game. That is egregious. That is beyond egregious. Not to mention you guys have been in the same stadium for probably 6 or 7 hours. As a person who's worked with sports teams, you don't just show up and go right on the court. They've been there in the same place all day. If you wanted to have this discussion discreetly between 2 men, like I think you should have had it, you could have had it over the phone. Anybody, if LeBron calls anybody at ESPN and says, "Hey, I need Stephen A. Smith's number," they're going to give it to him. Period. Or you could have had it in any of those places in the locker room or discreetly. To have this conversation mid-game is egregious. I don't really know what to say.
All right, let me jump in. If you don't know what to say, I'll jump in real quick, and then I'll pass it back to you. As a father, I understand you being overprotective of your children. No matter what is said or done, when it comes to your children, you're irrational. There is no matter the age. And from talking with my dad and understanding how his father was, age don't matter. You could be 28 or you could be 8. If I feel that you're disrespecting my child or disrespecting me as a man, as a father, I'm going to address it. I agree with you that he should not have done it in the third quarter. With that being said, LeBron, you put Bronny in this situation. For all of y'all that's doing these dumbass think pieces about saying that about LeBron James Jr. or Bronny, I stand on it that LeBron James Jr. should have gone back to college. He should not have been drafted. He was drafted at the 55th pick. Y'all can bring up all the stats of the 50th pick and the 48th pick and the 23rd pick of the draft and say, what are they averaging? They're only averaging point. That's not the point. What were they averaging in college? Nobody ever talk about that. You know what the 50th pick was averaging in college? 20 and 13. You know what Bronny was averaging in college? This is not to shade. He was averaging 4 points, 2 rebounds,
Averaging
2
the
assists.
bench. Because
Right.
the player who is in front of him is Isaiah Collier, who just won Rookie of the Month for the Western Conference.
So, and even we ain't even got to talk about depth. The man had a life-threatening event. I understand that it's like, okay, he had a life-threatening event. This puts everything in perspective. I want him to go after his dreams as soon as possible because we don't know how life. But you're also setting him up to look at it the same way that people looked at Lonzo Ball. The same way that Patrick Beverly looked at Lonzo Ball. If you multiply that by 100, that's the way a lot of other people look at Bronny. Because they feel like because he's LeBron James Jr., he got that call. And
But
two,
hold on. I actually like the Lonzo Ball, LeVar Ball. LeVar kind of set him up to get whooped. Like, hey, that's my son. Go ahead, get on out there. And Lonzo and LaMelo, I think, are better for it. LeVar didn't really protect them. LeVar kind of got them jumped. Whoever was going against Lonzo, LeVar had something to say. And I think they're better for it because they have the opportunity to go through the trials and tribulations where Bronny has been the boy in the bubble and he not enough time in the G League. So you're not really getting the reps. And it's cool to be up there with the varsity, but we all know NBA don't do a ton of practicing. So what are you doing?
but LeVar Ball stood on it, though. He stood on one side of the fence. He
Right.
said LaMelo is the best one of the three. He's going to be
Right.
one of the best point guards in the league. He said Lonzo is one of the better point guards, is the best distributor in the draft, and will be one of the best point guards in the league day one. LeBron said Bronny, after his life-threatening ordeal where he doesn't start at USC, said he's better than than half of the league.
Half of you guys.
Hey, do you know how disrespectful it is if I grinded my ass off to get here and you tell me that your son is better than you, better than me? Yeah, I'm gonna whoop his ass, and don't come try to save him. Now,
No. Bronny ain't
I
better
do-
than Sharif Cooper. Let's be very clear about it.
I do think that Bronny does benefit from working out with the Lakers team and coming up there sometimes. But to give him, for him to get all of the recognition, you got to understand, because he's LeBron James Jr.'s son, because you put him on the pedestal. I saw ESPN highlight the other day on their social media. It was pinned. It was Bronny getting a block. That was the pinned highlight. Bronny got a block.
Congrats.
Why?
my boy.
Why do we even care? No shade, but we shouldn't
For
care.
why?
We shouldn't
For
know
why?
nothing about Bronny. We should know that Bronny is in the G League. When you know what I'm happy to see Bronny when they say he was in the G League, he had 37 points, 8 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals. That's what I want to see.
And you know what?
Jalen Johnson.
And
Oh, I thought he was about to go. Go ahead. That's why I threw it to you.
we had God, that's crazy. Like I'm stop. Yeah, so Jalen Johnson could not make it on the court for whatever reason in Atlanta. He said, you know what? If y'all not gonna play me, send me to the G League and at least let me get my reps. And he went to the G League and tortured everybody until, I mean, in the long run,
DeJounte Murray said, hey,
Yeah.
you need to bring this dude back up here.
And if Bronny was doing that night in and night out, if Bronny was G League All-Star, then there's a conversation to be had. But and we're a great team to tell you, they're gonna send you to the G League. And if you're dominant in the G League, then yeah, call him up, put him on the varsity. It's that simple. but you need to be down there. You need to be a JV killer. You need to make it where it's undeniable. And for me, Bronny hasn't done that. So LeBron,
Even look at their depth chart. We just went over. They got 5 players hurt. 5, 4, 3 of them are starters.
no, they don't.
You
play
having
either.
Bronny on the team is a waste of a play. You're not playing him. That's a waste of a spot.
Which is a bigger issue. Is you got the guy like what's his name who we played against tonight, Lonnie Walker, who I said that everybody in the NBA should have been picked up. He's a better basketball player than Bronny. And y'all are trying to win. It's important for you to win, especially with everything that's developed for you guys. Having Bronny just taking up a spot, it's not really doing anybody any good, honestly. But the thing that I think that Bronny is going to eventually have to do is he's going to step up for himself.
Yeah. Say some shit.
The other part about it is everybody's talking around you. And you're a man now. And that's the part that I don't
And that's
know
the thing.
LeBron,
I don't think he is. And no shade. This is not and the thing about this conversation is everything can be taken as shade, but it's not. Bronny went from big fish in a small pond. Actually, he wasn't. A regular sized fish in a regular size in a big pond.
no,
Sierra Canyon.
small fish, big pond. All
The
of them
Sierra
places.
Canyon. All of them was good. But then you get to USC, he never had a chance. He's never had a chance to grow up. He went to USC and his heart almost stopped. Or his heart did stop. So then his whole life, think about anybody that's been, your life stops. Your life totally stops. Maturity stops. Growing as a basketball player stops. Growing as a man stops. Growing as a person stops. School stops. Businesses stop. Social media stops because I have to live. So then you take that 7 months away or however long he was gone, and then you throw him into the NBA and you're telling him, be a man. I didn't even learn how to be a college basketball player. So
Right.
why are we saying that, hey, I understand that he needs to step up and be a man, but you also got to put him in the situation to succeed. And I do think that LeBron was a little selfish because it is a feat that nobody had. And if you wanted to do that, that's cool. Play with your son on the court of the same team. But you also need to be and this is what I think Stephen A. Smith was saying to bring it all back was, as a father, you are supposed to put your son's needs and your son's well-being ahead of yourself or your child.
Right.
So if you're going to put your child's well-being, there's no way as a father, if you're looking at it as a father, that bringing Bronny up to the LA Lakers and putting him in those situations when he's not developed and not ready enough to be there and not sending him to the G League to develop is doing him a disservice. That's what I took from what Stephen A. Smith said. Now, there's been other stuff that I didn't see the stuff. Now, if he says something disrespectful, I ain't got no problem with it.
But the other part is everybody's like, well, what about the other draft picks? The other part is that we're not taking into consideration is this is the LA Lakers. Everybody there is in the spotlight. You don't get to hide anybody in Los Angeles.
None. That in New York.
Shea don't have the same stresses that Bronny has. Reese Shea's just been a competent basketball player, but there's just not the same level of spotlight. So when you go to the Lakers and want your kid to be hidden, you can't have both. You got to pick a side. I think that Bron should have handled this better.
I wouldn't have confronted Stephen A. If you're a man, I think a lot of stuff that LeBron has done in the last 2 years is ego driven. I'm not gonna say him confronting Stephen A. Smith was fully ego driven, but I think that was part of it. To me.
Yeah. I also will say that I think that he probably keeps Bronny in USC if he knows that Luka will materialize.
No.
I think that I think that Bron plays a little bit longer with Luka being there now. I think that this is a little bit of a reset as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Bryce, you up next?
Yeah, Bryce, Luka might have gave you a chance to be able to play with your dad, but I think your brother gonna ruin it for everybody. And Bryce gonna be like, nah, dog, I'm kind of. And we'll be able to see in a couple years about the kind of grouping up players grouping up versus the Elijah Arenas. Just go to the school where you're from and learning how to be a superstar because you're not playing with a bunch of superstars. I think that Gilbert has equipped him to be something different than the rest of these guys. Let's see what Sneaky got to say here. I like that it was in public. Stephen A. Smith would have loved to have Bron call him privately and give him content. I think that it put
content is content.
Yeah.
He had 2 days to talk about it on
Yeah,
3 different shows.
And you gave him content, and you gave him content because you kind of cut his ass mid-game where everybody's already got their camera on you anyway.
Nick, no, back it up. You cut his ass mid-game, and you know he can't say nothing back to you.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
there's no way that
He
Stephen
could
A.
have.
Smith could really say what he wanted to say. If he wanted to say something different, there's
think
no
that
way in that moment in time that he could say something. That's like Shannon Sharp and
And
Dylan Brooks.
yeah.
Brooks and T. Moran, all of them. And Shannon Sharp
do-
got escorted out the game and he played it out. He played it right and talked about it the next day. But
Nah,
don't address
Shannon-
me when you know
Shannon,
I'm
Shannon was
handcuffed.
ready to get with him, though.
Shannon,
I
yeah,
think
on
that-
that Henny.
I think that he picked the person who he knew was going to be gracious about it. I don't think that you walk up on Steven Jackson like that.
Nope.
Nope. And I know that Steven Jackson has an immense amount of respect for LeBron. Dog, you not gonna do that to Stack and think that it's gonna go that way.
Or Matt
Vernon
Barnes,
Maxwell,
or Vernon, or Melo.
right?
Although y'all
yeah.
best friends, but or Melo or Draymond, like you ain't really about to do all of that to nobody.
Yeah, and that's
Kendrick?
my thing is, and yeah, you're not finna just be cussing because as much as I can't touch you, you can't touch me neither. Boy, I'm like a wild out, boy. Who are you? Man, if you don't get over there and play this game talking to me, LeBron.
See, disrespect begets disrespect. Once you disrespect me, I'm be like, man, go back to the huddle. I'd have been like
Right.
this. Go.
Right.
You got to go. You can sit there all you want to.
Nah.
You got to go back to the huddle. You got
I'm
to
a
go.
troll. Put him in the game then. Since you think he's so good, put him in. You the coach anyway. You ain't that your podcast boy over there coaching the team anyway? Put him in the game. Since you want to talk, let's see. You say better than half of these players. Well, let's see. I bet you won't put him in the game. But you can't. LeBron put him in a very bad situation. I don't like that.
Shout out to
of
Worthy. Shout out to Worthy.
Oh. Also, in back and forth news, Charles Barkley took a shot at Kendrick Perkins and
Stephen
ESPN.
All of ESPN, really.
Chuck, to kind of summarize what Chuck was saying, was everybody's kind of riding high on this Lakers at number 2 in their turnaround, which has been miraculous. But what Chuck was saying is that the Cleveland Cavaliers and the OKC Thunder have been playing elite all season and have not gotten this love.
And they're
as far
better
as
built.
TV, yes. As far as team wise, individual success, they're just not getting the same love. And y'all to hop on this train now is egregious. And I think that Chuck is right. If you see, these teams have been head and shoulders better than everybody in the NBA the whole season, from day one till now.
But the Lakers didn't have Luka either.
You're right, but don't be Johnny come lately either. If I've been
How? Luka been there for 30 days.
less than that.
Less than that. So how's that Johnny come lately? Pause necessary.
Because everything before that, they was already on the Lakers, even when it wasn't looking like that. We know what it really is. This is more of Chuck yelling at ESPN than Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah.
ESPN just does the same thing with the Lakers, and they do the same thing with the Cowboys. What Chuck is saying is stop doing that shit. And I agree. I get so tired of hearing. I get so tired of hearing about Cowboys.
Don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Listen, business owner thought process right here. We worth $250 billion, whatever we thought. The Cowboys give us $50 billion worth of views every year. The Lakers give us another $50 billion worth of views. You know what OKC give us? $5 billion. Cool. Listen, what we gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about the Lakers and the Cowboys. You know why we're gonna talk about the Lakers and the Cowboys? Because y'all talk about the Lakers and the Cowboys. That's why we talk about them.
And Chuck does the same thing that I've done forever about ESPN, especially when ESPN and Disney got together, and you don't have any originality. You don't have anything that is actually interesting. You cover the same thing with the same talking points every week, and you kind of cycle through your people. So, yes, are you the worldwide leader in sports? Yes, because you're on a lot of cable packages. Are you really putting out the best content for sports? Not no, hell no. And it's two sides to this. Do you want high integrity, interesting sports content? No, that's the reason you come to the Splashcast. I always remember like, follow, subscribe. Or you go to ESPN and watch
right
the
over
recycled. Yeah, you get the recycled junk that you've gotten from all of their shows all week from the same group of people. I understand Chuck's plight as a sports fan and not to be a casual. So I get it.
Well, we're gonna see because they're going to ESPN. So, but they'll probably be the highest rated show.
Right.
Or second highest rated show.
Kendrick
ESPN.
Perkins responds back, hey, TNT, you might want to tell that senior citizen Charles Barkley that I'll be around when he see an idiot or a fool in person. Make sure he keep that same energy. He can come playing with me if he want. At the end of the day, I'm gonna address it like the numbers on his house. Straight yada yada yada. Now, this is the thing. Kendrick Perkins.
Bro, you 40.
And Chuck is 60
plus.
But also, now he is senior citizen now. Chuck has a history of putting hands and feet on people. The man threw that man out that window glass. They said, well, why you throw him out of the first floor? Because I couldn't get him through the second floor.
Yeah, I wish I was on. Yeah, do you have any regrets that I wasn't up higher? Like, now, Kendrick, that's why I went like this. I ain't gonna trash talk my dad's line, brother. You 70. Like, what I'm gonna do? If I kick you gonna die.
That's your uncle.
Yeah, like, come on, Kendrick. You could say, hey, you could say it to my face, and we could have a conversation, or you could take whatever you want to.
I would tussle with
but you ain't about to tussle with, because of Shaq. Now, what I will say is Shaq and Chuck against you is a problem, and we already know that Shaq and Chuck, they go back further. They go back generation. They mama friends.
None of y'all are actually fighting. Y'all old, and your hips and knees don't work. Let's be real.
Come on, man.
You ain't in nobody's shape neither. But at the end of the day, y'all old. Y'all not gonna actually do no tussle in the first place.
Yeah, man.
Listen to the message, man. Like, at the end
this could all be smoke and mirrors. This could all be trick bag, and they could just be building this up so when they get on the same stage, we all gonna watch. Either way.
I mean, and we will.
I will.
Sure.
Man,
I mean, I think that's what we're looking for more than anything is something interesting. As we move to the Mavs, we'll talk about Jason Kidd and his struggles. He said, "I've never seen this where you can't take someone out to rest them because we had no one to put in." The Mavericks' whole team is hurt. And as much as I don't want to blame Nico Harrison, this was kind of written on the wall.
Boy, fuck you. Nico, this all your fault.
Anthony Davis is always hurt. Kyrie is old and has played a ton of minutes this year. And everybody else was hurt pre-trade.
Pre-trade. They were hurt before you shipped the second best player in the league out of your team.
Right. And you sent them to second in the Western Conference and basically sent your team to hell. And I think that this is Jason Kidd kind of sending the Magic Johnson. I ain't gonna be here. I'm getting on. And I think that it's easy and it's probably right to blame Nico. He did this. He clearly did this without consulting Jason Kidd. And Jason Kidd, like, I can't make this happen with what you left me with. No. So this is not my problem. Y'all hold it down. POP. But I'm out of here. And I ain't coming back.
Yeah, and I'm making a phone call to Orlando. Because I'm telling you now, Orlando is probably going to get rid of their coach because they're going to see themselves as underachieving.
They ain't gonna fire him.
Shit.
He's turned that team around. Now, the person who needs to that needs to be fired is the GM. They knew they needed guard help, and not getting them guard help, that was tragic. And you could have done it.
Yeah, but if you get guard help, who's the best person to bring in to coach the guards out of the coaches that are available? It's Orlando. It's Jason Kidd.
I agree with that, but I also don't believe in switching coaches as soon as you get your team to some level set. And the example I will give to you is the Charlotte Hornets. When James Borrego had that team, like looking like a team for the first time since Alonzo Mourning. So
Grandmama.
Yeah. So having that team resemble a team for the first time in 20 years and then immediately getting rid of him. Shout out to Michael Jordan. I'm not a fan of that. You may not necessarily love the coach. Right. It went right over to NASCAR, won a championship. So no, I'm not at the point where I give him at least another year, and I try to get him a legitimate scoring guard. So you can see.
Yeah, and if I'm Jason Kidd, I'm out of there though. They don't even.
Oh, deuces! Don't call
they
me.
Got what is
you.
it? You got this on here. They don't have their first round. They don't control any of their first rounders for 4 of the next 5 years.
Correct.
I'm out of there. For what? You traded away Luka, Kyrie's old AD
behind my back. Behind my back, like you didn't even say, "Hey, Jason,
it's gonna come out."
Hey,
he got paid under the table.
And this is the thing that goes with that is this is my career. You made a decision. You made a career-changing decision on my behalf without consulting me. And even if it did work, it was only a 3-year plan. You don't think the Kyrie gonna be playing to his mid-40s, do you? Anthony Davis, the Lakers had no plan. The Lakers were barbecue chicken. And then y'all gave them an answer. Yes. I'm gonna remove you and I'm gonna add you back. No, yeah, I'm here. I don't know what it is with you.
Yeah, you're there. I don't know. Whatever. Whenever it happens, it happens.
But yeah, for me, this was never thought out very well. So overall, Mavs just kind of in a terrible situation. Next up, the Cavs have already clinched a playoff berth. I mean, they're playing out of their mind. I don't know what else you want to say. At this point, they look like world beaters, and they're going to continue to kick ass. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Anything with the Cavs?
DeAndre Hunter, the missing piece. They look like they're the favorite. I am interested to see what the Cavs versus the Celtics look like when Kristaps Porzingis is healthy. Although we may not know when he's going to be healthy because he's out with a phantom viral infection. That's what I said earlier. I said, "Woo, yeah, he's out with a phantom viral virus. Nobody knows what it is."
That is, I can't wish that everybody get that, but I would like to surely win some games. I surely would like to win some games. Next up, Joker continues to just do things that are unbelievable. And when I say unbelievable, I mean that he had a 30-point, 20 rebound, 20 assist game. I don't know how you do that. I don't know what everybody else was doing. Of course, it's against the Phoenix Suns who need all types of help at every position, minus power forward and shooting guard. First of all, you got to be exhausted at the end of the game, just the sheer amount of work that you have to put in. Then on top of that, what was it? What was everybody else doing while Joker was doing that? Y'all just watch him do everything? Is that what's going on?
So 30, 20, and 20. Yes. The answer is yes. We're watching Joker do everything. because there's at 30 at that point. Once you get to a triple double, he had a triple double at halftime.
They're gonna have to make some decisions too, because he's doing a lot of heavy lifting not to have enough lift. They looking kind of regular. They're not looking like they used to be. And that $50 million you got invested in Michael Porter Jr. and 35-ish or whatever it is with Jamal Murray is a problem. That is, I don't think that works for them in the foreseeable future.
Aaron Gordon's the guy to go on that one.
I don't think so.
If it were me.
I don't know if I don't know. For a year, 133 million. I mean, woo, 31 million next year, 34 the year after, 37 on a player option, 28, 29. Nasty work. He only be 33 though. He ain't really old. Oh, and yeah, he probably traded. Because this year it was only a $22 million cap hit. He gonna go up 10. But I still think that, Michael Porter Jr. $50 million is the problem. I don't know if he's that good.
He's not. I can tell you that. Not for 50. 50? Who's getting paid 50 right now? I didn't tell you.
No. Excuse me. He 35 million, 38 million, 40 million.
I don't think my answer changes. Who's worth $40 million right now that you would think? But Michael Porter Jr. is a spot up. Not spot up. He's a shooter.
But Michael Porter Jr., you could actually get out of the contract earlier, even though he's a little bit more expensive. He's like he's gonna be like $8 to $10 million, but you can get rid of him faster if you really wanted to.
Well, Michael Porter Jr., you are an Atlanta Hawk.
No, you probably go to the Blazers.
And get who? Anthony Simons? They would need a 3 back. Jeremy Grant.
No, I think sometimes some people just want space. Give me, especially with that second apron, let me get some of my money back and let me see if I can kind of piecemeal with some more. There's going to be an elite value on guys who are in that $20 million range right now. The Karis LeVerts of the world, who can go out and get you 15 points and not cost you an arm and a leg. Those guys are going to be valuable. That's the reason I like the George Niang, Terrence Mann. Those guys are going to be guys who we can trade and say, hey, do you need a guy who's a competent NBA player who's not overly expensive? Yes.
I don't know if Niang is under contract. I thought it was just I thought it was just Terrence Mann was the only one under contract.
I think that let's look. Yeah, $8 million this year, $8 million next year. Perfect. And then he's unrestricted. So yeah, we could trade him next year as a small expiring if you really wanted to. And we should have some cap space to go back, because we really not invest in anybody else. And then I'm going to give y'all a word to wise before we get out of here for basketball. But 2 weeks ago, Malik Beasley said that he was on an interview with some podcast. I'm not familiar with these guys. Never have I watched them. But 2 weeks ago, he basically said James Harden was easy to guard. James Harden took that personally, and the next time he saw him, he gave him a 50 burger. Matter of fact, gave him 50 burger, and then after James Harden did it, he did the patented nosebleed when he is really just destroying you. So I think that these guys need to be a little bit more cognizant when you're talking to people who are Hall of Fame level basketball players, also just assassins in general. Talk to that man with some respect, light feet, quiet enthusiasm, be polite and be respectful, or you get your ass cut like James did 4 days ago. Outside of that, we're going to step away here for a brief intermission, and we're going to come back and talk about all things free agency. Buckle up, pull your drink, do whatever you need. It's going to be about 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5. And when we come back, y'all know what time it is.
Testing. 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 Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We are back. We are back. We are back. I think we got Reggie here. The artist formerly known as.
What up, y'all? Sorry.
There we go.
I don't know what happened, but I got kicked out. So it's me. I'm trying to get. I'm on my phone now. I'm gonna say, hey, you're
And just that up.
You hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right. Well, we gonna rock with it. We here. All right, y'all.
So I know you've been relatively upset. We have moved into football. I know you kind of felt away for a while here about the Falcons' activity, or in this case, lack thereof. What you thinking?
Okay. Let's talk, y'all. We can get close now because I'm on the phone, so I can sit here and we can have a discussion. I told y'all from the get-go the Kirk Cousins signing didn't make any sense. I told y'all from the get-go. Even if you signed him, the amount of money that it cost did not make any sense. $180 million, whatever was guaranteed, $90 million up front. Then he played He played great, then he was terrible. His shoulder fell off. He couldn't move. All of these things. Now we're stuck because he wants to leave and he wants us to cut him. And our front office is like, boy, fuck you. You ain't getting no draft pick back. You about to be an expensive backup, which I agree. At some point, it's going to have to be like, nah, bro, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. At some point. So we hamstrung. It's Kirk Cousins.
I feel a little bit differently. The first thing I think that for me is if you want out, then the way that you're going to have to get out is by us. You're going to have to restructure. You're going to have to do something with that. Yeah, if you want out, then we need to do some things with your contract to make it reasonable. We're not just going to give you up for nothing. That ain't it, for sure not. That's not how it's going to go. If you want out, we will help you get out, but you have to help this. You have to help us make this thing a little bit more financially reasonable for everybody. That to me is the thing. I'm always, I was okay with Kirk because I think that he gave us a grace period so that we could get our things together. And I'm okay with that. I understand that there's a cost to do business. And I think that I'm okay with it because I think that it for the long term, it put us, specifically Michael Penix Jr., in a place to be successful when we've seen other people not be. So for me, it was of the utmost importance to have that, to teach Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, and a myriad of other players what it takes to actually be successful. So for me, that was always the most important thing. And I think that's something that we've been able to do pretty well. I am perfectly okay with it. I know a lot of people were pretty upset. the team needed to learn how to win. If we didn't learn how to win, I'm not sure if we ever would have or wouldn't have. I think that we're kind of waiting out to see how everything kind of sorts out as far as everybody's kind of taking some big swings early in free agency. I think that due to the fact that we're kind of short on money, we got to be kind of thrifty buyers.
We're stuck. We're stuck.
I don't think that we're stuck. And I think that I also have a reasonable expectation for us. I think that we could be in a position to still win the NFC South with like one or two moves.
What are the moves?
I mean, outside, I mean, we got $9 million in cap space now. I don't know if that gets us an edge rusher, but outside of that, that's all I think we really need, like dire.
What? We need a number 2 corner. We need a safety. We need linebackers. We need defensive linemen now.
I think that they're going to kind of piecemeal that together. I think that if Will Johnson is there in the draft, I think that that's our kind of golden goose as far as that goes with the cornerback. Earlier, he was available. I've run a lot of mock drafts lately. He hasn't been available. I think that if we don't get the cornerback, though, I think that we get the edge rusher. I think that we get one of them, and then the other part, we just got to make it happen.
Unfortunately for the Falcons, this screams that we had a plan in place, but we only had one plan. And I think we were going to go after a couple players from the Jets who we were familiar with, and they ultimately decided to stay where they are or go to Detroit. DJ Reed was going to be our second corner, and I forgot the other guy's name that stayed, the linebacker / edge rusher that stayed with the Jets. What happened was we don't have any money, and the market took off. The market took off. So you had Max Crosby became the highest paid non-quarterback or defensive player for one day. That changed the market. Then you had Myles Garrett double back and go with Cleveland, $40 million guaranteed. We were never going to pay $40 million guaranteed because we don't have the money. So all of those pipe dreams, but then that changed the market for everybody else. Milton Williams, a defensive tackle from Philadelphia, got $100 million contract. I think 60-something million guaranteed from the Patriots, which then the domino effect of that is we couldn't pay Grady. We tried to negotiate getting Grady back. Grady was like, man, I know I can get more than what y'all try to give me. And he got it from Chicago. So all of this goes back to Kirk Cousins. It all goes back to that dumbass contract. It is what it is. I'm rebooting my computer so I don't have everything. I have all my notes like right there.
No worries. I think that we're going to have to be patient, but I feel like I'm okay with that. I think that doesn't hamstring us in the long run. I know we're going to have to deal with this Kirk Cousins thing for another year, but overall, I think that we're moving in the right direction. I think that we're going to, and we're
gonna be mid unless every draft pick we have of the 4 or 5 that we have, every draft pick is gonna, at least the first 3 are gonna have to hit and play. Like they have to.
I mean, we've consistently been very good about hitting on first round picks. That to me, I mean, we haven't.
Well, there's a tight end that's there.
Well, that's a kind of tricky situation. Has he been everything that we wanted? No, but he's had one season where he is exactly what we were asking for. So I wouldn't consider that a miss. And I don't
say that again.
Yeah, one season where he was everything we needed him to be. And then 2 seasons, we wasted his time with people who couldn't get it done. Now, this season,
one season, we wasted this time.
No. Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota, those are 2 wasted seasons.
He was hurt for one of them.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is there were 2 years where we didn't have a quarterback. Then this year, we had Kirktober, which was great, and then after that, it fell apart. So it ain't been perfect.
It's a lot of excuses for somebody.
Well, I mean,
mid. Interesting coming from you.
I'm just reasonable. I'm reasonable. When he had Matt Ryan, he looked like a world beater. Then there were 2 seasons where we did not have a reasonable quarterback. And then last year, we only had a quarterback for half a season.
So there's outliers and reasons why he underperformed then.
Let me ask you, do you think that Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota were reasonable quarterbacks?
Answer the question. So there's outliers and reasons why he underperformed, and he hasn't been
not he
what you thought he was going to be.
That we underperformed. The team underperformed. That team was
well,
not.
I'm talking about from stats wise, impact, number 3, 4, 8 pick, whatever he is. There's reasons outside of his playing ability that he's had a mid career.
You're saying that with some level. Your words sound like you're being skeptical. So I'm asking you.
I'm asking you to say yes or no.
Yes,
is that what you're saying? Or are you not?
I'm saying that our offense has not been successful because of lack of quarterback play.
So that's a reason or an outlier that he has not been good.
It's not an outlier. It's just a reason. It's a factor.
It's a fact.
Factor.
That plus
not a no.
A factor. That plus the fact that he got hurt too, right?
Sure. Yeah. If you're hurt,
I'm asking. I don't have to say sure. I'm just asking.
Yes. If you're hurt, then yes.
Then yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's interesting coming from you.
Why is that interesting?
Because with other players, that reasoning doesn't count for you.
Like who?
Any player we go basketball, baseball, football, any player that's me that you consider me. Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp was a guy who was really good with a coach who has a history of making guys look like world beaters. I told you, Cooper Kupp is Adam Thielen. He will be good for 3 or 4 years, and that'll be it. Maybe he gets into the Ring of Honor, but outside of that, nobody will care. When you look at his career as a wide receiver against what we call people who are good or great, he doesn't stand the test of time. Right now, Cooper Kupp.
What is the reasoning?
Because he's not that good.
So injuries didn't have to do with it. Quarterback play didn't have to do with it. None of that matters.
Cooper Kupp is 30 years old.
None of that matters.
If for his career he was more good than bad, then yes. But when you look at Cooper Kupp, like I told you, 3 good years with a guy who's an offensive savant. Outside of that, he ain't nothing. He's an okay guy.
Then if that's your case, then everything you say about Kyle Pitts don't matter. He's an okay guy. He's okay. He played one good season with a Hall of Fame. I assume Matt Ryan's Hall of Fame. A Hall of Fame quarterback, and then he hasn't been good since.
Well, this is the thing. If Kyle Pitts plays 10 years, then we can have that discussion. But Kyle Pitts has played 4 years. The first year he broke the record, and then 2 mediocre years. But he's 4 years into his career. How many years is Cooper Kupp into his career?
I think he's 10? Year 10, right? My point is,
so if we're having
you give a whole lot of excuses, or you're giving a lot of excuses, and you're using a lot of the same excuses, and this shit's still not showing. You're using a lot of the same excuses or reasoning. I ain't gonna say excuses. You're using a lot of the same reasoning that I use for Cooper Kupp that you're using for oh boy.
If Cooper Kupp if Kyle Pitts has 4 more seasons of being mid, then he's mid. That's it. But I don't think that 4 years, and let's be real, every year that Cooper Kupp has been a football player, he's played with a better quarterback than Kyle Pitts has minus 1 year. Cooper Kupp has only played with Jared Goff and Matt Stafford.
Jared Goff wasn't great when he was there.
He took him to a Super Bowl. He was okay.
So Jared Goff took him to the Super Bowl, but not the offensive savant.
Hold on. Wait. Yeah, sure. But at the same time, straight up, Jared Goff to Marcus Mariota, are they in the same conversation?
Hold on, I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Now you can't hear me.
No, I'm literally about to. Are we back? Are we back?
While Reggie continues to struggle, I'm going to say this: Jared Goff and Marcus Mariota are not in the same quarterback conversation. Desmond Ridder and Jared Goff are not in the same quarterback conversation. Now you could throw the Matt Ryan season in there, but the one season that he played with a guy who was a world beater, Kyle Pitts looked like a world beater. Now last year, it's kind of tricky, and that's what I always said about Kirk Cousins is he's not a world beater. He's not Kirk Tober. Y'all don't get too high on him, and he's not what he was at the end of the season, which you found out later he was hurt. He's somewhere in the middle. But if you're telling me that you've played the majority of your career with Jared Goff and Matt Stafford, and you're talking to a guy who spent 2 years with Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota, we're talking about two different things. These are not apples to oranges. We're not even in the same farm, my boy. Cooper Kupp is what he is. He's 31 years old. He's a receiver, had a few good years. He's Adam Thielen. That's it. And that's fine. That's a respectable career to have. I think that they look like they're going to roll with Kyle Pitts for another season. This will be the deal breaker. Now, I'm also not against trading Kyle Pitts. If there's something out there that can get us a cornerback 2 or get us an edge rusher, then as much as I would love to have Kyle Pitts have one more chance, sometimes you got to dance with the girl. You know, you got to go in a different direction. And I'm perfectly fine with that. That's just life. But I'm not going to sit up here and say that he's trash because of 2 years of terrible quarterback play. I don't know of anybody who could have played well with Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder.
Boy, I almost ended the stream, boy. Am I back?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I will be okay with moving away from Kyle Pitts if we got something good in return, but I'm also not willing to throw the baby out of the battle. Years we did our best not to have a real quarterback. I'm not finna fake that either. Kirk also went to the White House. I don't know why you did that, Kirk. I think that was a mistake. I guess it matters a little bit less because you're not a starting quarterback anymore. But I think that if you were the starting quarterback at Atlanta Falcons, that would not have been okay or acceptable in any manner whatsoever. Anything else on the Falcons, Reggie?
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Now I can hear you. I don't know what you said after Marcus Mariota and
I mean, I was just saying over the 4 years that Kyle Pitts has been Atlanta Falcon, at least 50% of that we put out players who are at best backups, and after last year, I don't know that Mariota or Desmond Ridder is actually a solid backup. I think they might be QB3 worthy. So yeah, I don't think we have a lot to go over. Kirk played well for a couple weeks, and then after that, he didn't. So at this point, this is really the second season where he goes into the season with the guy who is our future. And even with that, we don't know what Michael Penix Jr. is going to be. We hope he's going to be good. We want to believe that he's going to be good. But at the end of the day, he got a lot of proving to do too.
I don't know. His bar set pretty low. All right, where are we? We're in football.
We just got
Kirk. Kirk. Oh, yeah, Kirk, get the hell out. Get the hell out. Get gone. Jazzy Jeff yourself. And I don't really comment on people's political views. But I will say, you being a Trump supporter, avid Trump supporter, and then makes the whole wearing the chains on all that stuff, it makes it look funny to me.
It should have always looked funny. You should have known that was. Kirk is Kirk. One thing that he is, and I think that was more him trying to ingratiate himself into the team and to the Atlanta culture as much as he could. But Kirk is consistent.
Minnesota ain't got that culture.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm in a new town. All right, well, I'm gonna play along with you guys. But Kirk is 490-degree angles. One thing he is square. I don't think that changed. I think he did the best of what he could coming to a city that's pretty black and him being pretty white. Yeah, I'm gonna make the best of it. But I think I don't support, of course, this, but I think Kirk's done okay in my book. I think he's done okay in my book.
Why? I don't know if he stole $180 million. And we gave it to him. How would you get? How'd you get, Botno?
To me, he taught us how to win, and I don't know if there was another quarterback available who could have taught the team how to win.
Yeah, for $180 million, I would have. So you could have got a whole lot of something else.
Who?
180
minus Jameis.
A whole lot of
minus Jameis. What else?
You could have paid Jameis 20.
Okay, Jameis is an outlier. I'll give you that one. But also, hell no. You saw Gardner Minshew got the Raiders to your number one player once out, your receiver left, and you got your coach fired. Hell no. Gardner Minshew is not a recipe for anything that Atlanta was looking for.
Gardner Minshew would have been cheaper. And it would have made getting Michael Penix even more justified. Caveat, pause right here. All y'all owe Terry Fontenot. If the draft plays out the way that they're talking about the draft playing out, all y'all owe Terry Fontenot an apology.
What do you mean?
They
already do.
Not you. But everybody else owes Terry Fontenot an apology because y'all killed him for drafting Michael Penix Jr.
Michael Penix Jr. is the best quarterback in this draft.
Y'all didn't kill him for drafting him. Y'all killed him for having Kirk and then drafting him. And now all these analysts, all of these players, former players, all of these draft experts are like, well, you could get a good veteran and then draft Shador or draft Cam or draft Jackson or draft any of these, and then you could just play the veteran for a couple years and then go to the rookie. Well, just 11 months ago, I'm sorry, 12 months ago, y'all were killing Terry Fontenot for doing that. Killing. Y'all had think pieces. Y'all called it one of the worst moves ever. And now y'all are telling them to do the exact same thing. Y'all owe him an apology.
Michael Penix Jr., I think that he's probably going to end up being better than Bryce Young. Jaden Daniels, he's in his own category. I want to see what Bo Nix looks like. But I think that Michael Penix Jr. is probably a top 3 or 4 quarterback in this draft. In last year's draft, still, I think he's the number 1 quarterback in this year's draft.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think
so.
Who's quarterbacks drafted? Michael Penix Jr.
In last year, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Bryce Young.
Nope. Bo Nix,
No,
Jaden Daniels, Michael
that was
Penix
the CJ
Jr.
Stroud draft, right?
What's the other one? Jaden Daniels. Is one more. Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr.,
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. All of them would be the number one pick in this draft. Every single
Caleb
one.
would still be the number
Maybe
one.
not. Maybe not Bo. Maybe not Bo.
He's better. I think he's going to be better than Drake May. Jaden Daniels has put the bar high. JJ McCarthy, boy, Minnesota. It's tight on y'all. Super tight on y'all. Then after that, it's a big drop off. The next one is Spencer Rattler at way on down the draft. So
try to talk yourself into that one.
I still think that Spencer Rattler is good value. Like, I think that if not for like Carr restructure, and they needed that restructure to kind of get. I don't know what they do with that dead cap space later, but I think that they're trying not to fall off a cliff that they should just fall off. They're doing the Matt Ryan thing right now.
Well, they're in the same situation we were in, except for we got Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins. You got Derek Carr and Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, but I mean, they've also had Derek Carr. He's more Matt Ryan, where it's like, oh, let's just restructure and kick the can. Restructure and kick the can. Eventually, you're gonna have to just rip that Band-Aid off. But I also think that there are a bunch of guys who are not getting enough conversation who are backups now. Hendon Hooker in Detroit. I think that the team should be looking at him instead of some of these guys. Joe Milton with the Patriots.
That's that guy. Y'all are stupid for not drafting him. For not trading for him.
I think the team. Well, I think they won't. I think they know he's an asset. So they're trying to.
The Browns. Why would you not go get Joe Milton? We know what Kenny Pickett is.
Hold on. We're not getting there yet. Back up. I got to get to that when we get to that. And then Spencer Rattler, I think he's an excellent value. I think that Spencer Rattler, if the Raiders had just gone after Spencer Rattler instead of Gardner Minshew, at least you have like a future facing. All right, let's develop him, and he's young, and we could probably make it happen.
You put way more faith in Spencer Rattler than I do.
But this is the thing: if he's not good, you can cut bait, and you're not into it. But I think he's better.
Never been good.
Quietly, the people in the Saints want him to play instead of Derek Carr. I'm just going to say that,
and that's foolish. He's never been good. He had an Elite 11 flag football camp where he looked like Patrick Mahomes with the no-look jump pass. That's what he did, and it went viral. And he has never been good. In college, he got his job took by Caleb Williams. He transferred. He was not good at South Carolina. His signature win was when they had a losing season and they beat Clemson to knock Clemson out of the ACC championship game. And then he got drafted in the 5th round. He's never been good.
I think he's perfectly okay as a 5th round draft pick. I don't think that's a bad pick. He's better than Desmond Ridder at a 3rd round pick.
Desmond Ridder at least won. Desmond Ridder won in college. Desmond Ridder won. Wow. He went to a bowl game. I don't even think Spencer Rattler even went to a bowl game.
Okay. I'm never going to say that Spencer Rattler.
Mind you, Spencer Rattler had all them people on South Carolina team that are in the pros.
Now, South Carolina also ain't never been able to put everything together either. Now, that's just, I don't know why, but that's just who they are.
They started Spencer Rattler.
Well, Spencer Rattler ain't been there the whole time now. They curl ain't never been quite right. Let's be real here.
Ooh, they went to the SEC championship game. They lost the camp.
One time in umpteen years. Overall, let's be real. The South Carolina Gamecocks underperform every year.
And so has Spencer Rattler.
Sure.
He's never been good. That's the part I don't understand. Josh Allen at least threw the ball 90 yards and won at Wyoming, or Montana, whichever one he was at. Wyoming, Montana. They're the same school, but whatever. Spencer Rattler ain't never been good. I maybe this is the vodka talking, but he ain't never been. When has he been good?
Spencer Rattler. I mean, we're talking about a fifth round backup. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I just think that at fifth round pick, perfectly fine, perfectly good value for a quarterback who may only be a backup forever. That's fine. Now we can talk. We can talk about the Midwest. We can knock out both of these two stupid teams together. First, there was a tweet that went out about the Bengals. If the Bengals acted when they were supposed to, they could have had Jesse Bates at $12 million a year, T. Higgins at $23 million a year, Jamar Chase at $35 million, and Trey Hendrickson at $25 million a year as well. The worst front office in NFL history. And that is their thing, is they don't like to pay people, and not paying people, them and the Cowboys just ends up costing you more money and more embarrassment in the long run. I think that, me and Reggie have talked about the Bengals at length. They just refuse to get it together.
They about to pay Jamar Chase $37 million. That's the going rate for him right now, because Justin Jefferson is 35, and the GM has already come out and said for the Bengals, he's going to be the highest paid offensive non-QB, which is 36 to 37.
Irresponsible. I mean, they got the other guy retired. Trey Hendrickson is looking for a trade. They've fallen apart. They don't have.
And they need to trade T. Higgins. They need to trade him. But they also missed on. For now, we'll say they drafted really well, except for they missed on the T. Higgins replacement, which was supposed to be Jermaine Burton. Which is a bad character evaluator, because he was terrible. He was bad. He was bad at Georgia. Well, he was good at Georgia. Then he transferred to Alabama, which rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And then because he didn't, and there's rumors that he had bad work ethic. And then everything that the rumors came out with, reared their ugly head this season. So it's like that's where you struck out.
I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't mind a dice roll on Burton if we could get him on the cheap.
At his peak powers, he's a solid number 2. He's a great route runner.
The thing that I will say is, I think that they could still tag and trade T. Higgins because there are so many receivers still available. They may not be T. Higgins, but you could get something kind of close. You could get a Chrysler 300 instead of a Phantom. It might not be exactly what you want, but sometimes.
Well, I'm glad you said that. It's interesting that all of these receivers are still on the board. I mean, you had Devontae Adams. He signed with the Rams, which is interesting because they're going to let go of Cooper Kupp, which means you could probably get Cooper Kupp on the cheap, which wouldn't be a bad pairing.
Where?
Cincinnati. Put him at the 2 with Jamar Chase. He's going to be a lot cheaper. He's going to be a lot cheaper than T. Higgins. Or you could get, there's Stephon Diggs. There's like
but those guys both came off tough injuries. It's going to be tough for them to. Diggs, that's an ACL injury, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love that. And Cooper Kupp, I would not be the first person to roll my dice on him after Sean McVay, unless you got a Sean McVay. Now, if it's Minnesota and like a wide receiver 3, great. He could be Adam Thielen again. He could be himself. But I'm not sitting. I'm not going.
Oh yeah, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson, Tyler Lockett, DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Williams, Robert Woods, Josh Reynolds, Devin Duvernay, Nelson Aguilar, Demarcus Robinson, Tyler Boyd, DJ Chark. You could sign people as a 2. All them. You could piecemeal. You could get Amari Cooper's 30. So is Calvin Ridley. Like you could sign Amari Cooper for a decent amount of money. Keenan Allen, he's 32.
But if you sign Amari Cooper, you got to do kind of like they did the Justin Fields contract and basically put all the money in the first year of the contract.
Yeah. Or you could. Deontay Johnson has played his way. He may play his way out of the league.
Oh, I'll take if the next step for him is out of the league, then I'll take him.
Yeah.
I'm taking all the people almost out of the league now. If the next step is retirement, hey, come on ATL, baby.
No. Cincinnati. We don't have the money. But Cincinnati could
No.
trade T.
We talking
Higgins,
about
get
cheap
draft
now.
picks, trade T. Higgins, get draft picks, and then sign Deontay Johnson and then go draft a receiver. You could get Tech at that point.
I don't know if they're gonna give you that.
Why? They have we have the 15th, they have the 16th.
I
Or
guess.
But 18th pick plus
why
get you to the.
Why would you take Higgins instead of Tech?
Who?
Anybody.
Higgins is proven.
Yeah, I'm not. I like Higgins, but Higgins is also going to be expensive. I can get Tech cheap, and yes, there's an unknown there, but there's a lot that's known too. He is big and strong and aggressive.
I'm saying you could move and sign one of these cheaper receivers and move, and you could then go get somebody else.
Baltimore, you back on the clock.
Why do you think that they're gonna do that?
Oh no, I know they're not. I'm just saying it because I know that they're gonna be stupid and not get it. They're gonna hey, who? Nelson Aguilar. That's what I'm interested in. Let me get something I know ain't worth nothing.
Keenan Allen. Just go get Keenan Allen.
Also, speaking of stupid teams in the Midwest, the Cleveland Browns did something today that I surely did not expect, and I assume the rest of y'all didn't either. They signed Lil Ham Pickett.
Oh, that's what we're leading with.
Excuse me. They traded with Lil Ham. They traded for Lil Ham Pickett,
a 5th round pick,
and DTR
for backup.
I don't understand what they're trying to do unless they're trying to get Myles Garrett to ask for a trade again. I can't imagine a quarterback room that has Freaky D and Lil Ham Pickett in it. There is nothing that tells me that this team is moving in the right direction again. There are now Gardner Minshew, I think, is better than Kenny Pickett. I think that Jameis better than Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know that answer.
So I have a hypothesis, and this is strictly responding to Tremaine because he was so happy that they re-signed Myles Garrett.
Why?
First off, Myles Garrett, you look crazy.
No, you don't.
Winning is what you want to do, all of that stuff, and then they say, "Well, you don't look crazy. You can be bought." And they gave you 100.
No. He looked like, oh boy, who was the coach of the Pistons who did not want to coach the Pistons?
Monty Williams.
Monty Williams. I don't want this job. Okay, we understand you might not want this job. Hey, we're going to pay you an unreasonable amount of money to do this job. I'll do this job.
Coach in the league. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But
same thing with Myles Garrett.
Then, I mean, hindsight, then the ploy was just to get paid. It was never about pinning a thing and going to win. And I don't want to go from Cleveland to Canton. I want to go to a Super Bowl. No, or to me, when they said that Myles Garrett resigned, I was like, if it were me, I don't know if that changes anything. Because he signed as the highest paid defensive end or edge rusher. But now what was turning a lot of teams off was you had to resign him. Now he's under contract.
Right.
So now you can get King's ransom back from him for him and be able to still build around him or around the team and let him go.
The reason that I don't really question his integrity is you also have to get your money when your money is available. Especially once you hit 30. It's like, okay, cool. I want this. Number one, Jimmy Haslam, for all intents and purposes, did not look like he was playing ball with him. He was not even willing to have a conversation with him. So
which makes me think he's still available. I think he's still available. I don't. They're not going to say
if he ain't available now, 12 months from now, he'll be available and he would have got his money versus I wait and then I fight. I sit out. All these other things happen. Suddenly, not necessarily Hassan Reddick, but kind of in that back and forth. Oh, this guy, does he still want it? All of these things. No, I got my money. Now I can do a year here. And then after that, I'm still going to want my money. And I think that once you figure out something is inevitable, then you should just do it. That's the reason I'm saying just trade him. He don't fit on y'all timeline anyway. You're just doing this to do it versus saying, hey, I can trade him away. I can get a bunch of good assets and I can draft Abdul Carter. And I'll sit Abdul Carter for the season if his foot is messed up. I don't care. I just need him to be healthy and we not winning this year anyway.
And get off Deshaun Watson's contract. Like,
right.
That's why I think that they should trade him.
They're very similar to the Giants. You got to eventually cut bait with certain players and say, hey, man, best thing for me to do is just go in a different direction. Doubling down on dumb, I know I say it probably every podcast, it ain't worth it. All you do is get everybody fired, which is another part why they didn't want to get rid of him. I just thought about it. They don't like it. Once you get rid of him, then you might as well get rid of Stefanski. It's over. But I think that at the end of the season, that's what should have happened. The Giants should have fired their coach and GM. Cleveland should have fired their coach and GM, because all that's going to happen is you're going to wait one season and do the same thing. And then whatever quarterback you got, he's going to have to learn a new system.
Speaking of quarterbacks, got a few re-signings happened, or signings and re-signings. First off, Josh Allen is now the highest paid quarterback in the league, if I'm not mistaken.
Congratulations.
And
that's a good signing because he won't be the highest paid for very long. That's a great deal. Pay people on time.
Well earned. I mean, he got his MVP. Whether I believe he deserved it or not, don't matter at this point. He got his MVP. He has consistently kept that team in the AFC Championship or divisional round. Yeah. And he only really lose to one person.
He's the cornerstone of your team, too. At the end of the day, without him, you don't have a thing. Nothing. So go ahead, let him go. I mean, go ahead, pay him his money and pay that money early.
And by paying him and doing the extension, you now have the ability to re-sign James Cook, which is probably the most important re-signing on offense that you have. So you have that. That's cool. Sam Darnold to Seattle for $33 million a year.
Great move.
Not bad. I was on the fence about this because I don't think Sam Darnold is good. I think Sam Darnold, if there's anybody that's a product of the coach and the offense, is Sam and Justin Jefferson
and Addison
and Jones and didn't I have Hockenson?
Yeah.
And you have all of those pieces. Yeah. I mean, but Sam Darnold, and the reason I didn't really think that he should be paid, he only threw for 300 yards 3 times. The whole season. He never threw for 300 yards more than 3 times.
That's not a thing like it used to be. That's kind of more normal now. It ain't that many guys belting out 300 plus passing yard games. That's the reason that they want to take away that cover 2 over the top, is you're not seeing the 350, 400 games anymore. They say the defense has figured out offense. So I don't hold that. I want a quarterback who can not throw us out of games, not throw a bunch of interceptions. Possessions are valuable. They're infinitely more valuable now than ever before. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Also, let me tell you a person whose pressure just got ratcheted up. J.J. McCarthy. Because Sam Darnold looked like a world beater last year. J.J. McCarthy, even when he played with Michigan, let's be real here, not an elite passer. Now you have 2 guys who you have to keep fed in Justin Jefferson and Addison. And if you don't look like Sam Darnold, they're going to look at you like, oh, I want out.
Well, now remember, they were high on him before. The only reason they might
have been high.
The only reason they got Sam Darnold and started him is because he hurt his knee. and they wanted to save him because he hurt his knee in the preseason.
JJ McCarthy was a running quarterback. Let's keep it
At
real.
Michigan. Now, anybody's going to be a running quarterback at Michigan with Jim Harbaugh. They ran the double tight end I.
So what? Okay, sure, I agree with that. Nothing about that tells me that he's suddenly going to be an elite passer, and that is the expectation.
You think Sam Darnold's an elite passer?
He was last year.
No, he wasn't. I just thought he only passed for 300 yards 3 times. And I don't think he was you again, here we go. You can't Sam Darnold was helped by having the best defense.
Sam Darnold had 4,319 yards. The only people who have more passing yards than him, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith. So he was 5th there.
Mm-hmm. You think Geno Smith elite?
No, not elite. Definitely not elite, but solid.
He threw for more than Sam Darnold. So I don't think Darnold elite.
I don't think that either one of these guys. Oh, well, the other thing is Sam Darnold also threw for 35 touchdowns. So, excuse me. 29 touch. Sam Darnold. No, 35 touchdowns. So not only was he top 5 in passing yards, he was top 5 in passing touchdowns. Those two together, that makes you an elite.
You think that's him, not Justin?
No.
Not Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Kevin O'Connell, and having at the time the best defense in the league.
Absolutely, there is.
So that's my point.
But this is the other part. I don't think that JJ McCarthy is in the conversation with either one of those guys.
Why? Sam Darnold was a forgotten person. He was written off.
But
he wasn't even going to start over JJ if JJ didn't get hurt.
But he is a passer. JJ, I'm gonna tell you right now, Minnesota. Oh boy,
this is revisionist. This is. You're looking at it through the lens.
I've said it since day one. JJ McCarthy was a terrible pick for Minnesota, and now we're gonna see it. And you know who he's gonna be? He's gonna be my new Trevor Lawrence. It's always somebody to watch that you know finna fall right off a cliff.
No, see, Trevor Lawrence was the number one. No. JJ.
Okay, so I'm going to explain why. The expectation is that Addison and Justin Jefferson are going to have elite season. I don't think that McCarthy has them have elite season. Then you have 2 pissed off receivers who are like, hey, we had a guy and we were getting it done. Y'all, for whatever reason, could not keep that guy. Now y'all got this young bum. Oh, and then people start looking around for other places to go because you can't get paid there. And if I remember, Addison has been paid though, huh?
I don't believe so.
No, 4 year, 13 million. No.
Yeah, he's only in his 3rd year. They got him for 5 years.
Yeah.
4 + 1.
Yeah. I definitely don't feel comfortable with JJ McCarthy getting me paid. Hell no, I'm out.
It's just interesting that Sam Darnold is elite for being Sam Darnold, but it's interesting how the points you make kind of contradict each other.
Now, I think that Sam Darnold had the help of a great organization and great team. I think that JJ McCarthy is going to have the same thing, and he ain't going to be top 5 in passing yards or top. And I think that Sam Darnold was best in Minnesota. I think that they should have stuck together. Sometimes you better together than separate. Now, I understand what Seattle did was he was the best of what you could get. But I think that Seattle ain't a great job either after you done got rid of DK and you fired Tyler Lockett. I think you put a lot of pressure on Njigba. He gotta get it now. He's the wide receiver 1 with. I mean, maybe you can get some of these guys in free agency, but
I don't know what Seattle's doing.
Now
Seattle did get He was the I believe their head coach was the offensive coordinator in Minnesota before he came over there, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know what Seattle is doing. I know DK wanted out. Tyler Lockett, his time had passed, but they didn't make enough moves.
I don't think
for
so.
me.
I think they should have kept Tyler Lockett, because the other part is, and Richard Sherman has said it a couple times, is I don't know what it takes to retire from Seattle. You should try to have some integrity with your players that, hey, you can come here, you're gonna play here, you can retire here, or people are gonna look at you like, I can't trust this guy. At the end of the day, I could be flipped at any moment, which is true, but you expect them to have some level of integrity to the guys who helped them get to wherever they get to.
So
yeah.
With Seattle, I don't know what they're doing, but when you think about the quarterbacks, your dominoes are falling now. You got Sam Darnold. You would assume he was one of the better, more coveted quarterbacks of this free agency. Even Justin Fields going to the Jets after they said that they were going to move on from Aaron Rodgers.
Great move.
Justin Fields reunites with Garrett Wilson, right? Plus he has Breece Hall. I don't know what they do at tight end.
Their offensive line is where it's troubling to me.
It's ugly at offensive line, but you now have basically you got your quarterback for the next 2 years, or at least the next year and a half.
Yeah, it's a rental.
You got your wide receiver who either is going to work or he's going to leave, and you have your running back. May have two. So your defense is still your defense. You still have benchmarks on your defense. So they have the semblance of a plan now, and they got it for $20 million, which is just fantastic.
A steal, yeah.
And
it's really 30 because they're gonna pay the 20 and the 10. It'll be 10 years next year. So if we got to get off him, you could probably move him somewhere else and split the difference. Or if you got to, just make him a backup, a $10 million backup, it sucks. But I mean, look at what we're paying. So it's digestible.
So you have him, he's gone. So now that leaves Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and if you want to throw him in there, they keep talking about him, but there's literally nowhere else to talk about. And Daniel Jones and Kirk Cousins. Those are your 4 quarterbacks are left.
I love it. The dance keeps getting better and better for us because it's still people who need QBs. And
Pittsburgh, the Giants. I think that's it. Maybe Minnesota. You can throw Minnesota in there. Pittsburgh, the Giants, and Minnesota.
Let's see here.
You just laid out all the reasons why JJ McCarthy ain't it. So if that's the truth, then it's Minnesota.
100%. I want a insurance policy. Bills good, Ravens good, Cowboys good.
Yeah, that's it.
Broncos good.
Yeah, that's it. It's those 3 teams. There's nobody else. The Raiders, you got the Raiders, but the Raiders don't end up. They already drafted.
They got Geno. I mean,
and they signed. Oh, Geno. My bad. Sorry, Geno. You always overlook. Yeah. And Geno. So
Tennessee, and I mean,
why would you go to Tennessee?
What I'm saying is Tennessee still needs a quarterback. And if you and I still think that it's better to, even if you draft a quarterback, get you a guy as a bridge, because there's just not enough development. And especially the way that Cam plays, Cam is an off-schedule guy.
That's why I don't. So is Shedeur, though.
Right. And I mean, it's the Miami Dolphins and Tua. You should always at least have some feelers out for another quarterback. I think that's not an if, that's a win.
So I mean, you got these teams. The thing is, again, we put ourselves in this position. Teams know that we got to do something, or they're assuming we got to do something. The Browns wanted Kirk Cousins. I after reading all of these stories and doing all of this, I can confidently say that the Browns wanted Kirk Cousins. But what they were trying to do is sit and not give the Falcons nothing and thought we were just going to cut them because Kirk Cousins decided to go talk to Arthur Blank and said, I want to play. Shout out to you, Arthur Blank. My man said, we're going to do what's best for the team.
He made that crystal clear, too. Yeah. Cool. Respect. But we ain't doing that shit.
I feel like that dinner was I don't even feel like it was dinner. I feel like that was hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
That was a glass of wine and leave. Like that was that.
And you know, probably in a dark, very, very nice restaurant. Arthur Blank got that smoking jacket on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now, Kirk. We paid that, and this is the thing, Kirk. This is the reason you gotta hold your horses. We paid you a ton of money.
Yeah, you don't make no demands no more.
And the one thing that you do get with all that money is some shut the fuck up. Shut up. I don't care. I still pay you. I will see you at work on Monday. Smiles on. Bring your family and also bring that minivan you used to drive. That's it.
And then of course, I said Daniel Jones. Aaron Rodgers probably is gonna. Aaron Rodgers has to pick up 3 teams: Pittsburgh, Minnesota, or the Giants. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I probably go to Pittsburgh. You got DK. Oh no, I'm sorry, Minnesota. I would go to Minnesota if Minnesota is actually looking. If they're actually looking.
And Minnesota, you get to double up. Number one, there's not a better receiver group than Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. Also, if you believe that you're who you think you still are,
you said there's
not of those teams that's available.
Oh,
I'm not talking. Wait, what receiver group is better than them?
Cincinnati. Triple Crown winner, T. Higgins.
I mean, I think we splitting hairs, but okay. I'm not against that.
Maybe, I don't know. You maybe.
But the other part about that is if you get the Vikings to actually win, you could stick it to the Packers, which stuck it to you first in your crazy ass mind. So
I was about to say in your mind, because they wanted to keep you. All you had to do was just allow motion in the offense. All you had to do is shut the fuck up, really. You probably would have, honestly, with that team, you may have gotten back to the NFC Championship game.
He also was trying to get his people instead of what they were trying to do, which is way better than what he had going on. So
old ass folks,
right? But I think that you know, and this is the Brett Favre path. Go to the Jets, go to Minnesota, and then after that, your career is over. I think that if he goes to the Steelers, I can't imagine there's any world where that makes any sense.
I don't know if he and Arthur Smith can.
I'm gonna tell you what I think is the right answer. Steelers trade up and get Jackson Dart, or if they can draft him, is Steelers end up with Jackson Dart. I think that would be
a running back too.
You can get one of them.
Yeah, you can get Nick Chubb or AJ Dillon. Or it's
not
actually
AJ, definitely not AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon is probably our age.
AJ Dillon is 26. You thinking of Corey Dillon, who has been retired.
One of them Dillon boys. Years. Oh, you're right. AJ Dillon's 26. You're right. I mean, but
Hunt.
There are guys. There are plenty of guys. I think the Jackson Dart is the right answer for the Steelers because it also gets you a young guy, which would be great instead of trying to keep with these old guys. I think that's the best case scenario for them. But they just don't. They're another team that doesn't seem to have a real plan.
And neither do the Falcons because I don't know what we're doing. I'm back on it. We don't have no edge. I don't know what we doing at edge, bro. Like,
draft.
We only got 5 picks. So we draft the edge. We need a corner, a safety, an edge, 2 linebackers, and a D tackle. That's 7 players. We only got 5 picks, and 2 of them are in the 7th round.
Well, the other expectation is the offense is probably gonna have to carry this team. The defense probably ain't gonna be as good as it was last year.
Well, let's talk about the defense because I'm sorry, I don't mean to elongate this podcast, but there are a few things that I wanted to discuss, which was the depth chart of the Atlanta Falcons. So, and maybe I'll just do that on my own.
I think that
the Atlanta Falcons depth chart with Grady gone, we're gonna lean on Rook Oro. He flashed a lot. I think at edge, we're going to see what we have in Braylon Trice. Remember, we drafted him from Washington in the 2nd round.
Zach Harrison. We got guys that we've drafted. We got
that. Brandon Dorlus is another guy. I think there's a lot of young players that we're going to kick the tires on to see what we have. But
next year's the year to do it.
The linebacker. We got to do something with linebacker.
Next year's the year to do it. Where, hey man, we're gonna eventually come out of this money thing after this year with Kurt. So if these guys are legit, let's pay them. If not, then let's move in a different direction.
We have no linebackers. We have Caden Ellis and JD Bertrand. Everybody else is gone. We have no safeties other than Jesse Bates, Justin Simmons, Richie Grant, Benny Sapp, DeMarco Helms, Micah Abernathy, all gone. Micah Hughes, D. Alford let walk. I'm assuming Clark Phillips is going to take his spot, but we still need. I don't like Mike Hughes at cornerback. He's cool. I'd rather him be like a safety hybrid if you're going to keep him. Cornerback.
Let's do we could probably do once free agency kind of cools down a little bit. We can do a Falcons rehash before the draft.
I hope we don't get Bosa. Watson restructures. We talked about Devontae Adams. Aaron Jones goes back. Yeah, that's cool. We talked about that. Ravens signed Ronnie Stanley. Good pickup. Y'all need to go get a receiver now. Get anybody. Get 2 of them. Maybe 3.
4. Just scoop them up till you get one that works.
Go get Keenan Allen. Oh, your stomach is killing you. I wasn't supposed to read that out loud. I apologize. Bloop, 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 bloop. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of episode 181 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, staying vigilant with us while it turns out that my computer cycled, which is why everything got cut off. I did not turn off the automatic update for the drivers. I apologize for that. With that being said, Nord, if we ain't miss anything, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fantastic show. Thank you guys as y'all continue through this journey. Once again, I'm so proud of what this new car looks like. It got the new car smell, all the bells and whistles. Y'all look at the little sticker goes by. Always remember, like, follow, subscribe. Thank you guys, going on this journey as we continue to give you a better and better product every week. Number one, more Black baseball. Also send up a prayer for Profar with a bone bruise in his wrist, diving for a spring training ball. Does look like he'll be ready for opening for the season opener, which is great news. Number two, more Black cowboys and cowgirls. That is a definitely call back from PV and TSU performing at the rodeo earlier last week. And number 3, the historically Black college university in your neighborhood. No, excuse me, the one your cousin used to kiki, went to, the one that you used to sit in the back of the church, and that person, send some money to that historically Black college university. Number 2, the historically Black college in your neighborhood, the one that you go to, step shows, homecomings, vibes, whatever it may be, just to be around your people. Please send some money over there. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the world, the Hampton University. All we asking for is $18.68 on behalf of the year that the university was founded. Outside of that, my friend Reggie, do you have anything else?
Hell no.
All right. With that being said, adios, mi amigos. God is love. Arrivederci. And until we meet again, y'all be safe. We love you. We are out of here.
Peace. Love y'all. Oh, I can't.